Yeah.
Alright, episode 2. We in this motherfucker.
Yo.
We up in this thing. First thing we gotta do though is introduce ourselves because we didn't do that at all last time. So they call me Red, or you can call me Karan, whichever you want to do.
Oh, I'm Brandon. Yeah.
You gonna go by what? B get the hoes.
Be getting money.
I be that boy. And that's really, yeah, nigga. I remember that.
Shit,
I be that boy, B or whatever it was.
I feel attacked.
And what you gonna do?
That was my first AIM screen name.
25 years ago.
The light skinned brother on the other end. I call him E. But what do you call yourself, sir? Introduce yourself. Are you?
What?
Go ahead.
Sir Pablo Frescobar.
That's so goddamn ignorant.
You wanna say what we do, or?
Yeah, I mean that's cool too. That works.
All right. More
personable. Do you mean what we do as in profession wise?
Besides podcasts.
So look, listen. I'm way too sweaty right now. But are we getting good levels? Really hope so. But anyway. So yeah, besides this podcast, because this is not what I do. I'm not good at this at all. But
still learning,
and that will come with time, I'm sure. Maybe I could get media trained or some shit. But for probably the last 7 years, since 2011, so going on like 8 years, I've been doing audio engineering. I will denounce any other job that I had before it because it does not matter, and I'm ashamed of it all. But audio engineering, I'm an engineer. I record, I produce, I mix, master, all of that good stuff. That's what I love to do, and I've been putting my heart and soul into it. I haven't quit yet, even though I get, they say, chasing success, you usually get knocked down once or twice, and I've been knocked down more than twice. But I'm still going at it. I'm actually in the process of getting the funding together to open up another studio right now, which would be my second run at that. First time wasn't so, how do I put it?
We gotta talk about that too.
What, studio? Oh, what happened with that? Yeah, that can work. But the first time, what can I say? I wasn't experienced enough to take it seriously or think that I could even be successful in it. So I sort of played myself short. Plus, the situation I was in, it kind of just didn't work. Like I didn't let go of my job. I didn't let go of my day job, and that kind of got in the way. And I just used it as a side. I played it as a side hustle. So, it was like I just sold myself short. But this time, I literally quit my job. I just walked out, or I didn't even walk out. I just decided I was never going back, dude. They called me. I was getting ready to go to work. And at maybe like the last 2-3 months of working, it just felt worse than it ever did before. Like every time I went into work, it literally made me physically sick. Like I hated it. I hated everything about it. I hated going in there arguing with those people, them telling me what to do like I was a child and shit. So one day I just decided like I'm not going back. I woke up about to get ready and just was like, fuck it. So I got a call. Long story short, I told him, he basically was on the phone like, oh, what are you doing? How didn't you come in? And we're going to mark you absent. And I just said, okay, and hung up on him. And here I am, pursuing this engineering thing full time. And while it has its ups and downs, I've never been happier in my life. So,
nigga, that's top 3 quitting stories I've ever heard in my life.
Look, man, it made me feel so liberated.
They called you like, hey, if you do this again, you gonna get a market against you.
A full desagulation.
Like, that nigga said, okay, hung up.
I literally do. I'm not even exaggerating for the mic, but he was on the phone just telling me like, we're gonna I'm gonna get on the phone with the other managers and we're gonna decide what to do about this. You didn't, I don't know if we should put it as a no call, no show. And at first, I'm still in employee mode, so I was like explaining myself to him and then literally there was like an epiphany on the phone call, and I just stopped. My face changed, and I just was like, okay.
Wait a minute.
Like, I don't have to answer to you. You just some white man. Like
nigga, I'm quitting.
you just some white man to me now. Like, period. If I see you in public,
no thanks, Philip.
So I just hung up, and then they called back because he told me he was going to call back with their decision, and I didn't answer.
But nigga, you made that decision.
They called me like for 4 days straight, and then, you know, because my cousin still works there, and I still got homies that work there. They were like, they're still asking about you weeks later, like, is he all right? And like, they kept hoping that I maybe was dead in a ditch or something. Like, no, he's fine. He
Never
just
been
doesn't
better.
work here anymore. Fuck yeah, go ahead. You tell what you do.
All right. Like I said, my name's Brandon. I am a filmmaker. I work for a consulting company in Ohio. So pretty much just doing commercials and shit.
This is baller talk for those who are not who don't have their translators on. This is baller talk.
It sounds like it's way more than what it is, but no, just I travel a lot, but that's really, I guess, the only baller shit. That
frequent flyers are well in there.
right.
Frequent flyer.
I'm a
sure.
silver. I got status on Delta. That's pretty. That's as
Hey,
baller
bro.
as it gets.
That works. Shit.
Pablo Frescobar.
All right, I'm Sir Pablo Frescobar, and I'm an auto worker. I work for one of the big three, the one that gets made fun of the most, and Facebook memes and Instagram
This
memes.
is Lawrence.
Hey, whatever makes the donut.
Oh yeah, hey, you ain't got to tell me. I'm just trying to find my way, man. I don't necessarily believe that I'm going to spend the rest of my time on this planet in that building. I don't think it's for me. So I'm just trying to find my way.
But you
You know
did
what I'm
say before I interrupted you. You were saying it's giving you more than you could ask for.
Oh yeah, I've been able to travel. I bought a house. I've done a lot of things. Gotten married, had kids. Just welcomed another kid into the world just this past Wednesday.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
congrats for sure. I was definitely gonna get into that. But
Thank you.
just to lend to what you saying, so I could tell you like this: being on both sides of the spectrum, like I worked my job from 2010 to March of 2018. So I worked there for 8 years, and then we all worked a job together for what?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
What was I? I was there from 2007 to 2010. So about 3.5. It was 3 years and 7 months to the T.
Yeah.
You left a little before me, and you definitely left.
Well, I
before
got
me.
fired.
Well,
so.
yeah, I got fired.
He
too.
did too,
Well, I got fired
I
first.
transferred.
but y'all failed upwards. But go ahead.
I transferred.
Definitely.
And then I came back, and then I got let go. Or nah, it wasn't let go. I got fired.
I remember what happened. I was there.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think a month and a half once after I came back.
Right from Cali.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
They broke us all up. That shit was bold.
And
Yeah.
I think you were gone before I even came.
yeah, because when you left is when you was about to beat the white boy's ass,
Yeah, most
Hey.
definitely. Most definitely.
and I was not a fan of that guy either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we were not at 100% at the time, I still was like, if y'all would have fight, I would have wanted to beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I didn't like him at all.
I don't think anybody did.
He tried to squash it years after the fact too.
I saw him years after. Did I
Really?
tell y'all that?
No, you
Sprint.
didn't.
I went to I went
Oh,
to
that's
Sprint,
right, you
and he
did
was
say that,
working
yeah.
behind the counter. I'm like, why did he look familiar? Like I could see the racism in his eyes. Like that twinkle in your eye looked familiar and shit.
Oh.
But he,
All of a sudden, you heard the FedEx line going on.
right, like oh, that's where you come from.
He was playing.
And
As soon as you walked in, you heard Dixie playing on the on the damn microphone.
Right. He mentioned you too. He asked about you, or whatever. And I think, yeah, we were talking again at that time. So, you know, I kind of just kept it, whatever. I just wanted him to do whatever the fuck I was in there
So I
for.
can
Just
go.
handle my phone, bro. Just shut the fuck
I
up.
hate trying to talk.
Yeah, I don't.
This is
I
10
don't-
years ago, my G. Let it go.
Yeah, I didn't really like him, but you know, whatever. We all do stupid shit, I guess. I don't know. Does racism expire in a person? Like, I've seen that happen.
It does. I think so.
But what I was gonna say was,
Depending on what you do, though.
yeah.
Depending on what
Because
you
if you
do.
hang a nigga, that don't expire.
Yeah, no.
So what I was gonna say was I've been on both sides of the spectrum now. So I worked my job. You know, I was a company man I wouldn't say I was a company man, but You know, that's where I strictly got my paychecks. Every 2 weeks or every week, I was getting paid from some Fortune 500 company. And, you know, it is very comfortable. And I can say another thing, too. You know, you can't really knock it because it puts food in your kids' mouths. And you still working hard. It's not like you just selling out or you just sitting around collecting a check. You got to work, bro. I was very tired every day. I got very little sleep. You know, I worked my ass off, but it just got to a point where I had to let it go because I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. Like, I really hated myself. Every day I walked in there just with this feeling like I really cannot keep doing this.
We didn't talk about it last week, but that kind of leads into old boy from the Cosby Show.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
man. I wasn't one of the people that saw that and was like, oh, he's a failure. No.
I think it's a job.
You got to do what you got to do, right? It's a job. And then he's got kids. What is he supposed to do? Like, I'm not taking anything under, you know, beneath.
No, but, you know, people think jobs like those are beneath them. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all that was. Because, I mean, even the woman that took the picture, she said, I can't believe he's doing this. Shouldn't he have, you know what I'm saying?
People glamorize acting, but all the motherfuckers are working in restaurants.
Yeah.
They are working jobs where they can just get off
and you would know.
Yeah, and they just work in jobs where they can kind of set their own hours. Unless you like A-list, B-list, the motherfuckers are working side jobs.
You know what?
It's just like sports. You have the top tier guys that are making all the money in the world, but then you have the 53rd guy on the NFL roster, the 15th guy on the basketball team.
And that motherfucker's a coach somewhere.
Yeah, and I knew him. I knew one personally. He played for the Cleveland Browns of all the teams. He played for the Cleveland Browns. He came to my school one day, right? And then he was a friend of my cousin, which actually just hit me up. My cousin's a teacher. Here's the story. I was in a school in 5th grade. My cousin taught maybe 6th grade right across the hall from me. You know, this is my big cousin. Like, you know, I really know him. So it was cool as hell to have my cousin teaching there. First of all, he played football in college and, you know, one thing led to another. He ended up not making it, you know, even though he should have. But he has friends that made it. So one day he just invited his homie from the NFL who played for the Browns to come up there and sign autographs and sort of just talk to the class. But at the time, you know, I'm thinking all NFL players are raking in millions. No.
Nowhere near.
And then it's not even like basketball. Like,
nowhere close.
There's a minimum, right? It's not close because there's so many people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. Go ahead.
I know a nigga. I ain't gonna say his name. I'll tell y'all offline if y'all really want to know. But I know a nigga who won the Super Bowl and now he's back in Canton, living at his mama's house.
Oh, are you serious?
What?
Yes.
That is crazy.
He won a Super Bowl. He. I think he was like the reason why they won. Like one of the reasons why.
Right.
I'll tell y'all. I'll say y'all.
Yeah, but that's, you know,
my mind is racing trying to think of what it is.
Now, I'm sure he doesn't regret that experience.
Oh, I think I'm gonna need something about.
I'm sure he doesn't regret that experience.
Mm-hmm.
But people glamorize entertainment in general. Like, you know, not all rappers are rich. Not all actors are rich. Especially not actors, because that's such a, like these, you have to think. That's what I'm saying. I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been getting a regular bi-weekly paycheck, but now I'm also on the other side of that spectrum where I have to hustle for what I get and I have to make a way. No, don't.
No, no ease either.
Yeah, but I have to make a way. You have to find your money and create your clients and your opportunities so that, you know, you make sure that you eat. And that's a challenge in itself. Like creating that clientele, creating that workload, creating that workflow so that you can eat regularly. You know, it's hard. And I'm not going to lie and say that it's all been good, but I've been doing a lot better than I thought I would have. Stepping out here on this ledge, like, and just putting my life and my family's life into my hands to see how well I can fare as a, you know, a freelance a contractor, essentially. Like, you know, that's not an easy life. And I can appreciate both sides. Like, I have this freedom that I never had before. I can spend more time with my son. That was another thing that made me hate my job. I had a newborn son. At the time when I quit, he was 7 months, going on 8 months. And, you know, it made me sick that I had to go and spend 12 hours a day, come home and sleep for 6-7 hours or 8 hours a day. And I get to spend what? You know, you do the math. What's that? 24 hours in a day. I'm sleeping for 6 hours. I work for 12.
Barely any time.
Between commuting, you know, there's 6 hours left in the day for me to see my son. You know, and I'm dirty and I'm tired the whole time. How much quality time can I give them?
Exactly.
It made me sick. It made me sad. So, you know, when I quit, it gives me this freedom. Like, I can spend all this time with my son, and I love it so much. But at the same time, that regular check ain't coming no more. So it's scary.
But but if you could bottle that feeling after you told them no, I'm not coming back, you can bottle that feeling.
Ooh, boy.
And just take a sip of it every now and then.
That alone makes it worth it.
Yeah, that
trust me,
that freedom. Like those shackles just came off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I look to people like you for inspiration because I saw you move
Which
to Chicago.
one? They can't see us. Which one?
Oh yeah, there's a camera though.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I'm talking to I be that boy B. I look to you for inspiration. You know, not to get too sentimental. I'm gonna punch you in your chest after I say this. But I watched you after FedEx or after high school or whatever because we've been knowing each other since we was 18.
Right.
Yeah.
We 30, bro.
I'm 30.
That's great, nigga. I'm 32.
That's right.
He's not.
Yeah.
I'm not 30 yet. I'm still in the 20s.
Why am I always doing that to you? Always makes it seem like you way younger than me.
Right.
Oh, why? My bad.
No,
Sorry.
but I'm still in my 20s for the next 35 days or something like that. Or no, less than that.
Yeah.
I got the countdown is on.
You doing anything?
Supposed to just be going to Texas Day, Brazil.
It's all downhill from here, buddy.
Give me some steak to eat me some cancerous meat.
Oh yeah,
winning.
Yay.
Hashtag winning.
When we get one of these mugs.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. Hey, but yeah, so we've been knowing each other for a long time, and I watched you, you know, whether you realize it or not, I was watching, bro. I seen you move to Chicago, saw you go to Columbia and chase that. I don't know how you felt because you didn't really share that with me, but I'm assuming that
shit was trash.
I mean, that stuff is uneasy. It's like you don't know you don't know what happens next.
That is
that
is a story that I will get into on another day because that is a whole podcast.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
You mean it's an experience?
I mean, it was worth it, obviously. But,
not the school.
I mean, it got you to where you at.
Everything that has to go through.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, bro, but that's what you gotta do. You gotta walk through the fire, bro.
Yeah, I agree. So it's definitely a whole story itself.
Like squirrels in the roof.
Oh yeah, you know about that. Yeah.
Whether you realize it or not, I was paying attention to everything you did. I mean, we talked through it all. Like when you was in Chicago, we was on the phone.
I forgot about
what?
We was like playing the game like, oh fuck, there's a squirrel.
What?
We were like playing Metal Gear, like, and we were on the thing.
Oh.
And I was like, oh damn, there's like a squirrel.
What? It was like, what?
There's a squirrel behind me. Like, shit.
What?
Yeah. So I mean, that's a whole nother. That's a whole
we say
podcast.
that.
I was watching you, bro. Everything you did when you went to Cali because you moved out there for a minute, and you was always like you weren't afraid to uproot. Do you know how many people are afraid to uproot and just drop everything and leave? Do you know how many people live and die in their cities and never ever go abroad? I mean, I'm one of them. I'm not dead, but I've never lived anywhere else. You know,
ditto.
Right?
Shit, that's just scary. That's why
it is scary, and you get attachments, so you be afraid to leave your family or. You know, how am I going to make this work? But I tell you this, once I quit that job, it opened up a whole new world to me. I don't give a fuck about nothing no more, dude. I'm like a nomad I'm like a damn caveman or something, like a traveling, what you call them, traveling bums.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, I don't care about nothing.
I wrestle with that every day. Do I want to leave? Do I want to go?
And then when you have kids, it make it even harder.
I have a mom that's 60. I have an uncle I have uncles near in their 70s. I wrestle with that every day, but I always come to the same conclusion. That I got to live my life.
Yep.
You got to live. You got to do what you want to do and live your life. You can't let people shackle your dreams or what you want to do,
bro. Because it's so easy. You can get complacent so easily to where you can just. Be like, well, I guess I'll be doing... Like, I was sitting in work, right? Now, I hate doing this. I'm 28, 29 at the time, and doing this work means nothing to me. I don't feel like I'm contributing to society. I hate all of my coworkers except these 3 guys.
And you're related to one of them.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm related to one of them. I almost killed a few people. Like, I was sitting there like, dude, am I about to murder this person? Like, but then, I had breakdowns. I walked out of my job crying. And I'm like, can I do this from the age of 27 to the age of 67? I've been here for 7 years, and I've walked out crying and almost wanted to follow some people home.
Right.
How can I do this for another 40 years, dude?
You never had that. This is related. We never had those conversations. Like, we never had an exit interview from FedEx. Like, we just kind of drifted apart. Well, not drifted apart, but we just all got fired and
hey, that's that shirt hard too.
Oh, thank you very much. Wakanda forever.
I didn't even see that.
But
I got that same shirt.
Target. Yep, $9.
Hey, that boy hard though.
But I don't know if it was just me or not, but I was in them trailers like the same way you were just saying. What is next?
What's next?
Is this gonna be it?
And FedEx don't even offer you no room to grow, bro.
There's a it's cool, but it's a definite ceiling.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
That's it. I mean,
and there's a window. There's a very fine window where you can not move that many positions.
Because when those manager positions start opening up, and I'm like, I'm winning employee of the month kind of often. You know, not to be biased, but we definitely were at the top of that food chain in there.
Most definitely.
There was a turnover out of this world. Every few weeks, there was a whole new staff, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not every, because these were like summer jobs to some people or holiday period jobs to some people.
Yeah.
But we stayed 4 years.
Right.
So we trained probably between all of us, we probably trained 300 people. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, all of that work we did was for nothing because it was like when those manager positions started opening up and we applied, or I applied, at least I can speak for myself. And
same.
They were giving it to people who were terrible.
Yeah.
Like, so y'all already know who y'all like and who y'all don't like, regardless of performance. Because I was in it, bro, I'm a big guy naturally, and I've always been big. The skinniest period, the point that I was skinniest in my life was in there. Because I worked my ass off.
Yes, you did. Yes,
we all did.
Yeah, right.
Y'all know how hard that work was, and it was like, I'm a shoo-in. If I apply for this and I've been killing this, I've been here for 4 years, and the only person who's been here this long, other than me, you know, beneath me, there's a few people who've been there longer than me. Mm-hmm. Some of them went to be drivers, like Alan or whatever. Jackie went and moved up, and you know, shit like that. But everybody beneath me, it was like a big gap. So say I had been there for 3 years, the closest person to me only been
a year and 2 months.
Right. So I'm like, I'm a shoo-in. If I apply for this, they definitely gonna let me in.
Nope.
They didn't give me no looks.
Did you apply? You did
I applied maybe 2 or 3 times, and I interviewed. And one of the times, Brian, you know, remember Brian? Mm-hmm. You know, shout out to him. He was one white man that I could definitely say
he was cool.
He was cool as hell, and he didn't have to do that. Like, he took me to the side, right? He took me in the office and gave me the interview questions.
Mm-hmm.
Days before the interview. Like, just go over this. Study it. Get your answers together in your head.
Right.
Because he wanted me to
Yeah, he wanted you there.
No, it's not up to him because they have to go through the HR, the guy who, I forget all their names. Fuck all those people.
Most definitely.
But Brian took me to the side and was like, just go over these questions and get your answers together because I want you to win. Like, he didn't have to do that.
Right.
And I don't know if I ever expressed to him how much I appreciated that, but man, I appreciate that. But anyway, so yeah, I'm like, bro, even with that, it didn't work. It didn't work. Now, granted, I was terrible at interviewing at the time because I thought, well, I don't know, I didn't have the confidence.
You had to be honest?
I thought I had to be honest, right. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, but you know, long story short, fuck all of them jobs. I'm where I want to be. We're sitting in the studio right now, and it inspires me every day to be in places like this because I'm surrounded by people who have to go and get their money. You know what I'm saying? They say, go get the bag. Every engineer I've ever met are hustlers, bro. Or every artist, because there's artists that I've met that don't have day jobs. This is what they do. And this shit is not easy, dude. I tell you firsthand. Finding this money, because everybody broke, everybody wants something for free, everybody want to skate by. You know, I appreciate both sides. So, long story short, to get to the end of my point, you know, you work in your job at, you know, that nameless auto company.
The one that gets made fun of the most.
You know, I never knock you for that, bro. Get that money and feed your kids, bro. Fuck all the other talk, but find your way. Don't ever let go of. I'm not giving you advice, but just people in general shit. don't ever let go of whatever that is in your mind that you want to chase, because you can get it, dude. And I'm a living testament of that.
Well, speaking of letting shit go and chasing what you want to do,
ooh, it's a nice segue.
we could talk about Insecure and the Issa.
Damn, that was like a 3-point from
that was Curry. That was Curry.
You just curried that from the.
That was a Clay or Curry, one of them.
You curried that. You curried that shot from the entrance of the back of backstage.
That's what I do.
Go ahead.
But we can talk about this last episode. Learn a little bit more what Lawrence been up to.
Winning. None but winning.
I told you, dude.
Winning.
I told you, don't ever doubt Lawrence, because you was like, if he knew what she would have done, and then the first thing they did with this episode 6 was show him blowing several backs out.
Winning. None but winning.
We need some gunshots for this nigga.
We really do. Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely do.
We could do that in post. But yeah, bro, I was excited. This is my favorite episode of the show, period. The baby shower.
You mean the season?
No.
The show. Like the whole
Because
run.
I liked how everything came to a head, and it was like, it was one of those episodes where you had almost the whole cast of the show in one place. Mm-hmm. So all those relationships were just, twisting in and out, and you had to see everybody interact with everybody, and the complications of those relationships come to light. Like, very, 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 very complex, beautifully written episode.
Yeah, this show's absolutely like gorgeously shot.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely underrated in terms of the cinematography.
Yep.
I have to say though, it wasn't like my favorite episode this season, but I think it was an amazing setup for the next two episodes left, right?
Yep.
I think it's 2. I think it was
that's what they said. That's what they said too.
I think it's an amazing setup for I think the next 2 episodes.
And that's one of the reasons it's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Because all the things that's going to happen after this.
Exactly.
And don't leave out the things that happened in it though.
Oh yeah, we're about to go.
It's like, hey, we're about to go. Shit was amazing. Man, it really was.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what y'all think? Y'all think Issa and Lawrence gonna? You think it's done?
They better fucking not. They better not.
I don't know if it's done.
It's not done. I'm telling you. I already told y'all.
I better
Just
not.
the fact that, all right, when he was talking to his boys and he called Issa a hoe, he's like, well, she's not a hoe. She just did some hoe shit.
He still love her. He said he can't help but look at her as a cheater. They already flirting with the idea of him battling with taking her back. Even just in his mind, like he's battling with that to see if he can even stomach it.
Yeah, right. I just don't see Lawrence just like done, I guess.
He needs to be done.
I think it's gonna be, if Nathan is not a felon, which we can get into later. I think it's gonna be
next.
I think it's gonna be some issues between Nathan and Lawrence.
I don't think Nate. We'll say that next. Keep going. We'll say that.
Yeah, I like that too. The exchange between Issa and Lawrence, because
that was good.
It showed a lot of maturity on both of their ends,
right?
And it showed, like, it was almost like everybody who was watching was like, I'm pretty sure they as characters felt like, I missed this, but then we also felt that way too. Like, we haven't seen them that way in 2 years or something like that. Well, yeah,
because the whole second season they were
at odds.
Yeah. They were broken up, right? The whole second season.
Yeah.
He found out the last
because he smashed.
Yeah, he was with he was with everyone.
Tasha. Yeah, he was with everyone, right?
Well, yeah, right, yeah.
So we haven't seen them like that in 2 years. So it was like this feeling like I missed this. Like, it's cool as hell that they they just approached each other and talked. Like, it wasn't no baggage really being,
I think they both feel like they have found something else or kind of moved on from that. But I don't think that they necessarily have. Like, I think that something can happen to make it. They're just
saying it.
Yeah, I think something can happen to make it that, that situation kind of.
They're not in anything solid. Neither one of them, especially Lawrence.
No, Lawrence for sure. Issa's probably not, but
she's not. She's not.
She's not in something as solid as she thought she was.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Nathan's not answering. And
that was so weird.
He only stayed with her just for that case with Liv to go away.
Listen,
that's
dude,
it, bro.
When I say the writing on this show is so realistic, dude. Yeah. I don't know who is writing this stuff, but they are good.
Yeah.
They're probably just pulling from real life. They have to be.
Issa, every season, at the end of every season, she has people who have nothing to do with the show. She just has like a little contest, and she pulls them in, and I'm assuming they exchange ideas and things like that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's one way to keep it fresh and get an outside perspective and from the audience and whatnot. So, I think that's part of the reason why every season just seems to be like so well written. Constantly, someone else and getting different ideas.
You're bringing in real people, real life experience. I mean, and you could tell, dude. You could tell.
How do you feel about the Molly and Joe dynamic? What's going to happen from here? Because he definitely gave her the cold shoulder.
Joe's a baby. He's about to have a kid.
Yeah, exactly. She was hurt. She was hurt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She was hurt. I was shocked at that. The person that was making those boundaries is hurt that her side nigga is having a baby.
All of that was a front though. She's not as cold as she tried to come off as.
Oh, of course. Nobody is.
What's her face coming in? His wife?
Candace with her beautiful self.
Yeah.
But anyway, before we do the Candace and Dro thing, because not Candace and Dro, but Molly and Dro, I definitely just want to say this about Lawrence. Like, I'm happy that he was getting all that ass, but at the same time, he was not winning because, first of all, chlamydia.
Right.
That's a big number one.
Huge L. Huge L.
And the fact that he even said it himself, like, it felt shallow. It felt empty. Like, he was like, man, what'd he say? I'm 30 or whatever. He was like, life is more than just working and fucking.
Right.
So, he didn't necessarily win. So I'm not trying to paint it as just him getting asked means that it was a victory, but it's the fact that, like the guy said, I don't know if y'all ever watched those post wrap up scenes where they sit on the couch and talk about the episode. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The turn, yeah. And the guy said, like, season 2 or even season 1, you can even say that, it was like Lawrence was fucking the pain out of himself. Like, that bounce back period where you just have to fuck anything moving just to...
I've been there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We probably all have, but then it was like this season is more like he's just having fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm happy to see it. Even though he got chlamydia, I'm happy to see him just having fun, dude. Just like not necessarily wrapped up in something that's painful.
I think that's one of the things that men have a problem with is just taking time to themselves after a breakup. Like, you're losing a whole person that's been in your life all this time, and then you just going around fucking people.
You think it's men with that problem?
No, I'm just speaking
from a man's perspective.
Yeah, from a man's perspective. Because I've been there. I was just like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna fuck whatever's moving or whatever's around.
Right.
But I think that speaking for me, I don't think I've ever really taken a step like just to be by myself and realize like who the fuck I am now.
Now I did. Now I'll tell you this. I did. Y'all know who I was in a relationship with for a long time. And when I left that relationship, I was like, I did say I was about to have fun and I did move on very fast. But that relationship didn't work because she was on the next girl was on some BS, but that's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. But what I did after that, after I had a little fun, I did spend a long time by myself. And I guess a long time was just 6 months or 6 months after my next situation. So maybe between my major relationships was like a year and a half or whatever.
Right.
And I did have a lot of time to just relax, like, and just not be worried about a female. Mm-hmm. And it felt good in a way that I had time to just be a bachelor. Like, I had a lot of money at that time and I could just do whatever I wanted to.
Well, Lawrence is older than me, like when I was doing that. And I was thinking quality or quantity over quality and just trying to get whatever.
Yeah, he was older than me. I was pretty young.
Yeah. Well, he's 30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely not.
I wasn't either.
So
yeah, I went through that period and I actually went through a period of just being alone too. But the reason I asked you, did you think it was men with that problem is because a lot of times, in my life at least, it seems like women don't ever know how to be alone at all. And it might just be because they're more emotional, they might more,
You said it right.
Yeah, more emotional.
You said it right.
More like, you know, they need that connection with somebody a little more. Not to say that all of them are like that, but, you know, I'm trying to tread lightly here. I don't want to say, I don't want to box them in because they're not all the same.
Oh, of course. Right. Of course.
But it seems like, in my experience, it seems like women usually try to, first of all, it seems like they're a little hurt a little more a lot of times when those major relationships end. And they don't really know how to comfortably be alone. Like,
I mean, guys too, though. I mean, it's both ways.
Yeah,
guys that's a people thing. Guys take relationship breakups just as bad as some guys do, just as bad as women do, and some women take breakups less seriously than some guys do.
No, I can tell you this: I haven't experienced that kind of hurt since I was 19.
I've never felt it.
I felt it one time, and that was my first relationship, and it destroyed me from the inside out. The lowest point I've ever been in my life. In hindsight, it means nothing to me at all. It's small fries to the weight that I carry on my shoulders as a man. That shit that I went through as a boy means absolutely nothing.
Right.
But at the time, it destroyed me, dude. I was depressed. I'm like, I'll never find another girl. But then when you get out here and you start getting a little handsome, you start turning into a man, and you realize that women do like you. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like I can find a woman anywhere. Not bragging, but just all of us can. I mean, you know.
Yeah, right.
If you know how to carry yourself and you know how to take a shower, motherfucker, you can work a job and find a woman. So it was like, at that time, I'm like, I'll never find a woman again, and why would she do this to me? But then when my second major relationship ended, it was like,
whatever.
I literally just...
I think a lot of that, too, we don't have to, like, stay on this because we talked a lot about it last episode, but I think a lot of that has to do with social media, just constantly seeing everyone happy in relationships. So you kind of feel like you got to, like, keep up with this, that, and the other person.
Right.
Like, oh, they just got engaged, and I just got cheated on.
Oh, but I know what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah, right.
So, all that shit means nothing to me now.
they only post the highlights of their lives.
I know what's going on.
You can't compare your work to someone's highlight reel. So
right.
Yeah.
So exactly. Yep. So look, as far as Dro and Molly and Candace,
you want to get in to that, or is Nathan
last, dude?
Nathan last. Okay.
So I say Dro and Molly. I kind of like the way he did her that episode, and even though he is a baby, and she did lay it out plain for him, and she was being the bigger person by stepping to him, like, you know, maybe I should go speak to him.
He dismissed the shit out of her.
And he dismissed her. Now I liked it because, like, okay, this is what you asked for. This is the same thing I would do. I wouldn't have acted the way he acted before, as far as trying to overstep my boundaries and be like, if she told me I want it this way, you cannot be forcing her to have it your way.
Yeah.
But after she made it clear and plain, and she took her key back, and he came and she walked up to him, he like, oh, we talking now? Like,
I didn't necessarily, at first I didn't think that was like a dig. I kind of thought it was like a joke, you know?
Yeah, I thought he was just being like charming. Like,
yeah, right. Like, oh shit, we talking now?
It was a little bit of a spice on there, though.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of spice on there. A little spicy. Like, he was telling it, like, he was joking, but it was kind of like, it wasn't a jab. It was a little bit of, a little in there.
Oh yeah, it definitely led to that.
So, yeah.
I think my prediction with Molly, I think she's gonna have this is gonna be her worst season yet. She's just doing pretty not great at her job.
No,
she's doing better now, right?
I mean, she likes the job, whatever, but she's making enemies with those two girls. I think we're gonna hear from them again.
She's a competition with male coworkers.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be there that long, and I think it's the next two episodes.
I think she's gonna end up in a low period.
I think she's gonna have the worst. It's gonna be her worst season yet.
Yeah. Because it's already been pretty bad compared to last season.
Her relationships, only thing that she's really got, well, even her friendship with Tiffany and Tiffany.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Tiffany Kelly.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is probably the best character on the show.
Oh, for sure.
By far.
Yeah, by far.
She got
by
emotional.
far.
No, yeah, she did too.
Yeah, that was a good scene too. I really like that.
Yeah, it made sense. because they were like, why didn't you let me? She's like, why didn't you let us do this baby shower? And who are these other bitches? Like, we don't even know who they are.
Right.
I mean, that made sense.
But that's weird too, because there's also one of them was Tiffany's sister. So
really,
yeah,
I missed that.
So I don't know how they not know her sister.
Her baby shower was so over the top.
All right, with Beyonce and Cardi B.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know, that whole episode was so great to me, dude.
It was.
I got another interesting little theory for y'all too that Tamika brought to my attention.
All right, well let's talk about Nathan first.
Yeah, let's talk about Nate,
and then we can talk about our predictions. All right, so y'all think? So you think Nathan fell in Bay?
Yeah, felon. You said
Felon Bay?
Felon Bay? Yes, he is felon.
Yeah,
he is.
I think so. I mean, not like the felon.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, another thing Tamika pointed out was the nigga is probably a dope dealer, bro. When has he mentioned a job?
He's a barber.
He's a barber.
Yeah,
but you could easily cover that up.
Right.
Yeah.
Tamika thinks he's a drug dealer.
I think, a traveling barber. He goes to people instead of having his own shop.
You selling drugs, bro. And you came from
Black
Texas.
man can make an honest living being a traveling barber.
You ran from Texas from something. You came to Cali, and you probably, I don't know, but
hey, I think he's definitely, that nigga's a jailbird. Think about it. Every time he's been with Issa, some illegal shit's happened. First time they met, he whooped someone's ass.
Fight in the car.
Which is what he's going through now. Second time, they break into somebody's house and skinny dip. Third time, they do drugs at the Coachella.
Yeah, pool party. And then fuck on a Ferris wheel. That's 4. And decent exposure.
Oh, damn. That did happen. I forgot about that. Jeez.
Man, her body count is skyrocketing.
I forgot that they fucked.
I did
they
too.
definitely did.
Oh, man. So, damn, that gives me a whole new take on the relationship. Because I'm thinking she wasn't that deep in. She's deep in.
He ain't. I don't think he is.
So, let me ask you, what was the realization that she came to at the very end when she looked up like, oh, shit. Like she had an epiphany. What was that?
I think she's realizing that there's a chance that he's...
I think she just...
honestly, I don't think she realizes that he's maybe in jail. I think that she's realizing that he's like purposely ignoring her because she more so cared about... She didn't ask like what's going on. She said, oh, so you talked to him today.
Right, so I think... But that's what I'm saying.
Remember, he didn't he respond?
No, he has not responded.
He said, I'll take care of it. Did you send her text back?
No,
that was when she scrolled up. That was from the day before.
Okay.
A few days before.
And she was just texting him
back to back.
Yeah, and she said text him like something midday, telling him something, but he still hasn't said anything.
So you think he's locked? So you think he's locked up?
I don't think he's locked up.
I don't know what it is, and I don't think he's locked up.
I think he saw. I think Issa. I think the way that was filmed, the sequence that was made. She looked at her phone, realized. Oh, sorry. She listened to the voicemail and then realized, and then the person said the case has been resolved.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a voicemail. She was talking to her lot.
Oh, that's right. Right. And then she thought about it, and then she looked at her phone again or some shit like that. I think he only stayed with her just to see I don't know. Maybe Tasha said that was her thought. That was her theory. Like he only stayed with her just to see that little case.
I don't know.
Or whatever that
it's
is.
so weird.
I don't think that. I think he cares about her. I just don't think.
But what does she do?
Does he care about her? I mean, does he?
I mean, yeah. He had that, like when they were in bed, he just said like, how you know if it's real and this and other thing.
That's called game.
Yeah, it could be. But I don't know. Can you care someone when you just go ghost like that? When you talk, like when you're clearly talking to someone else, like he talked to the Uber or Lyft or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he could easily just say, "Hey, I'm busy," or
yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. What did she do? Like, why are you shutting her down?
Nothing.
And then, like the lady on the phone was like, we talked to him and he made a statement. So clearly somebody can get in touch with him.
Yeah,
but
he ain't locked up.
Molly called his phone too. What happened? It just went.
He didn't answer.
So it's not like
didn't Issa's go straight to voicemail? Wasn't it forwarded?
That's what I was thinking.
Or rang? Sorry,
I think so. I think hers went straight to voicemail, but Molly's rang and he didn't answer. But then the lady said that she spoke to him and he got a statement. So I'm thinking, I don't know, dude.
He dipped on her, bro. It's over. We
But
didn't
for
see him
what?
again.
I don't know. It don't make sense.
So what are y'all predictions?
Oh, should I say this now? Go ahead. What's the predictions?
As far as what, next episode or just
Next two episodes.
Just
just the season, I guess.
there will be a fight between Candace and Molly. There will be a fight. They're gonna have to square up.
Oh man, I forgot to even talk about that.
Oh shit,
There-
we didn't.
There will be a fight.
So why was she sad that they were having a baby? Because he didn't tell her, or because she loved him, dude?
I mean, just because when somebody,
she care about him,
she
but
does.
she try to act like she don't.
and it's like, damn,
That's what I'm saying.
like shouldn't that have been mine or some shit, or
Yeah.
just some kind of thought in her head.
She's not as tough as she's trying to come off.
I think she's trying to protect herself. I think she does care about him, and she would admit it, but she didn't realize that this is a married motherfucker, and like there's not really. It doesn't seem like there's a chance that they're gonna break up. So I think she's acting tough to protect her heart.
He had an epiphany in a bad way. She had an epiphany in a bad way.
It confirms.
Like, oh, this is not going to be, like, there's no future with this man. And she should have known that from the jump.
Right.
It confirms my fears. Not fears, but it confirms my assumptions that they definitely. Candace does not know, dude. The way that she greeted Molly
exactly.
was like
No way.
just
Like, hey,
another
what's
girl.
up? Yeah, I don't think that they know. I think that we will find that out this season. Like the last episode, like when the last 5 minutes of this episode or the last episode. I think this last episode is gonna be like the best 5 minutes ever on this this whole series.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be it.
Just because there's so many loose ends right now, and we're so close to the end. Like we don't know what the fuck is happening with Nathan. I think we all think that Lawrence and Issa are not really being
Forthcoming with how they feel about each other.
Right. Molly herself, and all this shit going on with Tiffany and that friendship. So I think it's gonna be honestly a shit show the next 2 episodes. But this is the best that Issa's been. So I think that's all the more reason why I think it's gonna go down, just because how stories work.
Right.
Like we built her up. She's making like all these great decisions.
She's gonna
and then we're kind of getting there, like
self-destruct or something.
right. We're getting to a point where she's not making a good decision with Nathan, potentially, and then you throw in Lawrence.
Well, it's
who comes
all
out
how
of
she
nowhere.
handles whatever happens next with that.
Yeah,
Because if she chase him like, chasing after his coattail, then that's a terrible move. But if she just say, all right, well, fuck you then, but we won't know until Sunday, bro.
you think her?
Because we all going to be wrong.
Right.
We all
Exactly.
going to be wrong.
You think her show or block party is gonna end up working out?
I think it will. I think that's gonna be the last episode.
This is Issa we talking about.
Everything gonna come to a head again.
This is Issa we talking
Something
about.
fucked up gonna happen.
Everything, it always fuck every time.
Somebody gonna get shot at the black party.
She can't even.
Hey.
She can't even get mad without setting her roof, their ceiling on fire.
When she went to get the papers, to sign the papers, the lady said, "Stop." She said, "Why? What you mean?" She said, "Because they never worked like that." And what she's alluding to is that, you dealing with the hood, alcohol, a party. Something fucked up gonna happen.
Of course.
I mean, but I think it's gonna be a success. But I think something will happen.
It's gonna be a disaster.
Bro,
I guarantee
no,
That's
you.
probably when everything's gonna hit the fan.
When it's
right.
going
And it's
good.
it's gonna be just like listen.
Can't believe this shit actually worked. And then-
Everybody's gonna end up in the same place
Right.
again, and all this shit. Right, something gonna happen. But
Nipsey gonna be performing and fuck you, nigga. And there we go.
let me drop this
somebody
on y'all
throw a
real
chair.
quick
Yep. See, there you go.
before we move on to something else, because we already been on this for a minute. But let me drop this on y'all right quick. So Tiffany's pregnant, right? Tamika's like, it's not gonna be her husband's baby.
I've
I'm
thought
like,
that.
I'm like, why would you say that? So she broke it down. She said last season they were all together watching TV.
Yeah, and didn't she say something that was kind of weird? Then change the subject. I'm gonna let you go.
I don't remember, but what she was telling me was, because I don't remember a lot of season 2 for some reason, but what she said was they were all in the house together, like watching this TV show, and they all got together for like girls' night, and the men were together and the husband said something like somebody said something like, talking to Lawrence. Her Tiffany's husband said something to Lawrence like, yeah, Issa's over there with Tiffany right now or whatever. And then they cut to the girls, and it was only 3 of them, and Tiffany wasn't there. And then Tiffany had texted one of them and said something like, what are y'all doing or whatever. Like, and then it was almost like she was letting them know, like, if anybody asks, I'm with y'all.
Wow.
And she disappeared that day. So she might have went and got some side, and that baby is not her husband's, dude.
Maybe.
That's gonna be another thing that probably happens at the end of this season, or maybe next season, maybe a foreshadowing.
I mean, it's nothing but cheating and going on this damn show anyway.
Right.
I mean, it'll only be fitting. I mean, just to throw that little bit of drama into the pot, that, you know, everybody going, man.
But look at how weird Tiffany been acting though. She been kind of sad about the pregnancy and all of this friends. Like,
well, I mean, that's kind of
normal.
That's kind of normal though,
bro.
Like you imagine, it's just like
all them hormones and shit.
Or just that alone. But imagine if there was a 4th person here and he has 5 kids at home and he a single dad and we all about to go out somewhere and he got to go home. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's only natural that somebody gonna feel a certain way about not being able to participate in, you know, that kind of lifestyle.
Right.
I mean, because kids do take you away from your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
and especially if your friends
at some level
supportive, which
nigga,
they have.
I still hang with all my friends.
Well, I mean,
my son has not changed my life at all.
But he hasn't changed your life. But your son or your kids in general have say, "Oh, I'm gonna stay home today," because they affect us somehow. Yeah, they got priority.
You know, I thought it was gonna be all doom and gloom, like, oh, I'll never be able to have fun again. But
no,
really, nothing has really changed, unless, like you said, it's be like sometimes like, oh yeah, I can't do this because I got my son right now. But usually, my friends just be like, okay, well, we'll just do it in 3 hours. Like, when we do it tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think we would ever do this again because of that. Or because of, I mean, shit, you a new father and everything, so.
New again, yeah.
Right, new again, so. Yeah, but I don't know.
Shout out to women with kids, for real.
Oh, my God.
Shout out to women with kids.
I'm so glad you said that. Because I was at home with my son. That's one thing it did change. Getting ready.
Oh my God.
I be wanting to cry.
Man, it's the worst.
And I'm not kidding. Like, I'll be at home like, I just want to just drop everything. Like, how am I going to do this?
Shout out to women with kids, bro.
How do y'all do it? If women be having 3 kids by themselves.
Listen, man. This child, this 5-day-old baby wants to sleep all during the day. And I'm sorry, she will sleep all during the day if you hold her. But then at night wants to be up, eyes wide open.
Right.
You gotta force her to be up.
I think she was up from midnight till about noon, and then finally got some sleep today. Wife is the best. You are the best.
Shout out to the women who can do this.
Shout out to y'all, for real.
I'll be at home with 1 baby and I'll be wanting to just quit it all. Like, dude, how am I supposed to do this? How do I get ready, get him ready, get dressed, get out of here on time? It's got to a point where I gotta wake up 2 hours
You
early.
skipped over food, my G. You just said walk out.
I gotta feed myself. Like, I get it now, dude.
Yeah. No. You eat when you get back. That's what you do. You eat when you get back.
Come on, dude. When your turn. When you shooting that club up.
That ain't the issue. That ain't the issue. It's a goalie in there.
No.
Not anymore.
Oh,
what you waiting on?
Not anymore.
Oh, wait.
Come on, let's get personal. What you waiting on?
I ain't waiting on really anything.
You scared, nigga?
Kinda.
What you scared of?
Nah.
Of what we talking about right now?
From my point of view, I think since I had the most kids out of, I think you just don't want to be, not necessarily tied down. I just don't think you kind of want to be flexible.
Yeah.
And when you throw kids in there, that's an anchor or an anvil that just puts you in one spot.
I mean, also, I travel so much with my job.
Exactly.
And shit. There's that too. I don't know. I guess I'm not really scared. Like, if Brittany was pregnant, it wouldn't really be anything. Like, I'm not gonna be mad.
Listen, y'all follow this man's IG. He lives the best life. He lives the best life. Gerald in my line.
I rode up here listening to Cardi and Chance.
like they live y'all highlights should be on ESPN, my G. No lie.
Right. Like
y'all do a lot.
Do you pay a photographer to just follow you around?
I think you do. I think Director X follows you around. Director X follows you around.
Yes, he does.
Right.
You go to the club. You on the party bus.
He goes in the upper part of the mitten. I would never do that. Never. See what I'm saying?
Nigga was fucking on top of the Statue of Liberty.
But I say that to say, when you have a kid, some of that stops.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the
at least for the next 18 or 10 to 18 years or something.
Well, I mean, I don't think. Well, see, in my case, like I love to travel. That's just I love to travel, and I really can't now for some years now because I have a newborn and I have two about to be 6-year-olds. Who the hell gonna watch two newborns? I mean, a newborn.
Yeah, you got to pause your life.
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean,
it's legal to leave kids at home when they're 10. So you got 4 years.
So
4 years, and then you can find a baby. Hey, fuck all that, bro. Just don't turn on the stove. Shut the fuck up. Watch TV. Right, exactly. Here go grilled cheese. We'll be back.
We back in
next
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Figure it out.
$100.
Figure it out. No. Just order DoorDash. Y'all be all right.
Right. Here go a credit card.
Make sure you go to school. Make sure you go to school.
No. Hell no. No, but yeah, you definitely got to pause your life. That's one thing. But I can't wait to travel with my son, bro.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, that too, like...
It's the best feeling. I'm sorry to cut you.
No. I want to be like in a good place where I can travel with my kids. Like I travel with my dad and my grandma all the time, and I want to give that to my future kids. So just want to make sure that...
I can't wait. I was thinking about that yesterday. Like, I can't wait till my son is old enough to where I could just be like, let's drive to Chicago.
Right.
And let's just go to the arcade or whatever, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because a kid would love that shit. Like, I'm not just sitting at the house. Like, we could just go to Chicago or let's hop on a plane.
You can do the most basic shit ever.
Yeah,
just the fact that you're going somewhere.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. 3 years ago, I had a family reunion in Wilmington, North Carolina. We stayed at a resort on the beach, and took, my kids came. Seeing your kids, your family, your wife, your girlfriend, whoever it is may be, playing in the ocean on the beach. Just it's something. I have those memories. That was one of the. They say you're not supposed to live your life through only hoping for vacations, but that's one of the happiest times in my life. That vacation, that family reunion, seeing my family, and they was happy and carefree, and that's one of the best times of my life.
So, hey, you mentioned something the other day, dude, about you said a poster or was it a billboard or a poster with something about Detroit and all white people on it?
Yeah, it said.
So please elaborate.
Oh shit!
It is on.
It's about to get heavy. It's about to get.
All right.
It's the last topic.
No, probably.
It's the last topic. So,
right, so
buckle up.
I was in downtown Detroit. I spent pretty much all Sunday downtown with Brittany. I think I was on Michigan and fuck, I can't even think of the name of the street. Right by the AT&T building, not too far from that, like where the train or bus station is.
Yeah,
and there's a poster that said, "This is Detroit," and it's literally a bunch of pictures of like white people, like drawings, and like I guess between the three of us, I'm probably the most We Are the World nigga ever. Like, I'm all for inclusion. I think that is something that we need, like, to move on. But it's a little bit different in Detroit, just for the fact that Detroit, like after the riots, all the black people were put in this box, basically. And now that it's seen as profitable and, they want to make it like Chicago or whatever the fuck they want to do.
Which will never happen.
Right. No, that ship is sailed. But like the fact that they're pushing I don't have a problem. That's where gentrification gets a little weird. Like I don't have a problem with a space for everybody or space where, all inclusion and all that. what I do have a problem is with you pushing all these people out who've been living here, barely living there, and then you just pushing them the fuck out for making it more expensive for everyone around.
Gentrification.
Exactly. So like, I guess I get gentrification. Like I understand the benefits of it, but regardless, I don't think any benefit is more than someone's livelihood. You know?
Right. So I'll tell you like this. You said you were by the train station, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the studio was.
Mm-hmm.
Rosa Parks in Michigan. 12th in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent a lot of time over there. You know what I'm saying? I spent maybe a year and a half over there. Besides having the studio over there, I spent a lot of time over there, period, because first of all, that's where the Tiger Stadium was. I spent a lot of time over there with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can tell you firsthand, when the Tiger Stadium was right there, and that road is still brick, like cobblestone road.
Exactly.
I remember being over there very specifically, and I remember it being nothing but black people.
Mm-hmm.
At the games, outside the games, at those restaurants over there, at the bars. And coming back 20 some odd years later, it's quite a different story, bro. You got whatever that is.
Night and day.
Night and day. You got Corktown over there, which is, I mean, there's black people that live over there for sure, but it's definitely like a little subsidized neighborhood where a lot of white people live. Now, like you said, like I don't necessarily have a problem with white people being here because historically, a lot of them are bringing the money here. So that, like you said, that's where it gets weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even know if I can say they're bringing the money here because nobody spends money like black people. We're just spending the money the wrong way.
Right.
But, okay, so this is what it came to. I'm in one of those fucking restaurants that just sprouted up in the last 2 years, and I felt like the outsider in a neighborhood that was essentially
We grew up.
all me,
Yeah.
all us.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm walking in this restaurant asking for carryout, and I'm being looked at like, what the fuck is he doing here? And then what confirmed my suspicions was that I had a homie tell me the same exact thing, unprompted. He just said it like, yeah, like I was over in this area, and these motherfuckers kind of looked at me like, or they told him, I think he was saying his friend, man, I gotta ask him this story again. He was saying his friend was over there or something, or him and his homeboy, and they kind of just was kind of treating him like we all don't belong here, like I gotta get the fuck out, or looking at him weird, or following them, or the police riding around looking at you weird, like what? Bro, we were on Michigan and Rosa Parks.
Mm-hmm.
The Brewster Projects wasn't that far from here. You know what I'm saying?
Like the only way that street could get blacker if he was on Martin Luther King
and Malcolm X kind of intersects between that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know, dude. Gentrification is funny. Like I ride downtown. I love downtown now. So beautiful, so nice, very developed. But at the same time, it's like, first of all, you can attest to it because you lived on Jefferson.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
In the very building that I'm thinking of, and
it's even different from then than what it is now.
Right.
And that was just only a handful of years
bro,
ago.
look up the rent from the same apartment you had.
It's about
Like-
that one bedroom was $950 in 2011. It's probably 12 or 13 now.
Or more
Or
than
more.
that. Bro, I was at
And they have no justification to charge that much. Zero.
I never been in those apartments, but I did know somebody that lived there.
It's nice. It's an apartment.
Regardless, though.
That's
I
all
mean,
it is.
gentrification is weird. I'm really not going off because y'all know I could get on my Malcolm X shit. I'm really not going off the way that I want to or I can because I'm really not even in the space to talk about that shit right now. But it's very weird. It's like I love the way Detroit is going, but at the same time, I hate kind of the way that people are being pushed out. And it's kind of like, I don't know.
What's the right thing to do?
What's the right thing to do?
Well, you gotta. So just to back up, Detroit is I think is one of the most segregated cities in the country.
Yeah.
Like so,
It's at least top 5.
Yeah, it's. I think what would have to happen would be a conscious move. Like so, all these abandoned buildings, all these empty fields. So let's just say they, and I use air quotes, they have downtown. There's nothing you can do about that. You missed the boat. It's like trying to buy Apple stock now. It's just, It's no point. Forget about it. But what you do have are the neighborhoods.
Not Apple stock. It's not too late. Don't tell people that. It's too late to buy Amazon stock. But it's not even too late for that if you got the bread.
But because of 20 years, it's going to be $7,000 a share. But what it would take had to be a conscious effort of just people of color, period, having to take the neighborhoods back. People, the ones who are, see, the problem is people like me who have the means, who make enough money to buy homes. We move into the suburbs. We move somewhere into, air quotes, safer environments.
Right.
If I would be more than down to pick a spot, trying to give an example of a neighborhood, just in near my job, it's so many bad neighborhoods over there. So many abandoned houses over there.
It's fields.
It's nothing but fields. You mean to tell me if 1,000 people like me, or just like us, period, if we decided we're gonna move into this neighborhood and develop that land, that would be the difference.
It would be beautiful.
You cannot expect a city. I was watching a town hall meeting, and this lady was like, she said, "How come the city just doesn't build up around me?" Or some along them lines. I think that was verbatim. I think I got it right. What do you expect the city to do? Everything is tied. Everything is tied to tax revenue, taxes, everything.
But let me tell you,
you create more revenue. You work. You pay higher taxes. You pay more taxes. The better your schools are. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You can't expect every school in DPS to get the Cass Tech treatment.
Right. Also, Detroit will forever be a black city.
I agree.
Up until they get the education, figured out.
That and a car insurance.
But that too. It's just
let me throw this out there. This is where it gets interesting, because we can get into all of the pitfalls that they set in place for us, right? Or the way that they basically play chess with us, and we're just playing checkers in return.
Yep.
There was a point in time, remember when all those, people were interested in buying all those lots up. I have an uncle that grabbed a lot next to his house, and he has a farm in the hood, dude.
Yeah, the urban farms.
He has a farm, and I'm so proud of him. He's my uncle. He's old. He's like 50 something, but
that's not old.
He's a shit for him. For him to make it, he's a gangster, bro. And I do mean literally. I'm not gonna get into detail or nothing, but I mean he's a street cat. I'll put it like that. Not a gangster. He's a street cat. He has a farm, dude. Next to his house, he grabbed up this land. But there was a point in time where the conversation about grabbing that land, they was telling them to no. The city was not letting people buy lots. They were saying no. So at the same time, you could be like, how come people don't develop their land? But then there was an attempt where the city was like, because I sat there and watched it on the news. They were saying that they're not letting these certain lots go and this land go because they don't want to. The city wants to keep it or whatever. So at the same time, you kind of got people in the stranglehold. My neighborhood's fucked up and all these houses burned down. I live next to 3 dope houses. All of that shit burned down one way or another over the years, and it was just lots and lots and lots. And now, at some point in time, like I said, people came together and they start asking, can I buy this lot? Can I buy this lot? And they told them no. So how can I develop my neighborhood? I know some neighborhoods that do have block clubs and, neighborhood watches and all of that stuff where they're really serious about their communities.
Right.
Not all of them are just letting their towns or their cities or their blocks go to shit.
The neighborhoods.
Their neighborhoods go to shit. It's not all of them, because there's definitely some
people that care.
Some efforts, right? There's definitely some people out there trying, but then the city will have you in a stranglehold, because guess what? They're going to hold this shit out for a higher bidder. They're going to let Dan Gilbert come and buy everything because they know he going to throw some M's at it. Or they're going to take your neighborhood and bulldoze through it because they're going to throw up a motherfucking... Dude, do you know how many people they have displaced through development? That's gentrification, dude.
75.
Look at, if you ever ride up Grand River, I used to ride up Grand River every day going to the studio because it leads right to Michigan and Rosa Parks pretty much. Or at least to Rosa Parks, and you take Rosa Parks down to Michigan. I used to ride that route every day. Grand River is fucked up. From the suburbs all the way downtown is fucked up. Mm-hmm. Dude, I guarantee you come back to Detroit in 10 years, they gonna snatch all that shit up. You know, and they not... You know, and there are some nice neighborhoods over there too, like between Grand River and maybe like Dexter, where there's people who care about their homes and shit. But then at the same time, you have low incomes and people who don't have the opportunity to even maintain this shit, or you telling people they can't buy these lots. And then you come and just raise the price of everything where only rich people can afford it, and they gonna snatch all that shit. They gonna snatch it all. You ride down Grand River, you ride down Michigan, you ride down Woodward, you ride down whatever. You know, Woodward is not undeveloped. Grand River is, though.
Yeah, Woodward's pretty good.
Woodward's pretty good all the way through, like, and especially because that leads more north.
Just in a couple spots, but other than
yeah, just other than that, like, and especially because Woodward sort of heads more north than most of those other main streets, right? So it goes up into shit. It goes up into Ferndale before you know it, right? Exactly. So, but anyway, yeah, it's like I've seen some efforts thwarted by the city, and I've seen some efforts, you know, sort of just trampled over by the people too. You know,
yeah. I mean, it's you. There's some self-inflicted wounds here.
Absolutely,
like it's not just
we fall
the establishment,
right? We need to, dog.
We can do a whole episode
episode about niggas need to come together and stop bullshitting, because now is the time, especially in Detroit. I don't know about every other city. Chicago had their chance, but they did the same thing in Chicago. If you know the history about Chicago, they tore all that shit down. Mm-hmm. All the shit, the good times
freeways,
based on the
freeways through towns.
They tore down the Caprini Greens, all of that shit. They displaced all those black people, and then they threw them into these neighborhoods, and then X, Y, and Z happened.
Today happened.
Detroit needs to just go ahead and take this opportunity, because we're at a juncture here where we can get together and, like you said, practice what do you call it? Community economics? Or
group
economics, where we could start grabbing up these homes that are just sitting here dilapidated, even the ones that are on these auction sites. Even if we buy that shit just to tear it down for the land, dude. I don't know. I know drug dealers. I know a lot of motherfuckers with money. Dog, niggas need to be on some real Marcus Garvey shit right now, because there's not going to be another chance. We already at the tail end of this chance.
Right.
Because it's about to get real. Detroit, downtown already gone.
You can forget about it.
Midtown is gone.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Once
all the historic districts, forget about it.
Gone.
Once, like I told y'all before, once downtown Detroit gets a Best Buy or an Apple store, you can forget about it. Which is soon.
They already talking about Apple store.
It's a couple years away.
The one sign Armageddon is the Nike store.
Nike store.
That was the first totem of the apocalypse. That's the first one. Yes, Thanos is coming. That's the Power Stone.
Right. And they got a fucking Under Armour store. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, man. We gotta.
They do?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
I would be more.
It's right down the street.
Oh, okay.
From Nike.
I would be more than willing. When I was looking for my house, I was looking in the city.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I wanted to live in the city. If we can get 100 people to move into a neighborhood, like this is gonna be our neighborhood, and then block by block, we go north, south, each way, each direction, block by block. Have somebody else come in, have somebody else come in, have another family move in, have another family move in. It could be overnight. It ain't like people ain't making money. Mm-hmm. Even though they say the unemployment rate is 3.8%, we have full employment. People making money.
Yeah.
It may not necessarily be. And that's another topic. It may not be the money that people want to make, but you're making something. If you able to afford a phone bill, you know what I'm saying. If you can afford the luxuries, we can all I think everybody can sacrifice somewhere to make this dream come true.
This is such a deep topic, dude.
Yeah, we could do a whole.
I was gonna say we just gonna have to sacrifice this topic.
Right.
Yeah, dude, another day. So much I want to say. We're gonna talk about this next week.
This might be a second episode of the week.
Yeah,
like we might have come in earlier and and record this one and then do our regular one.
Right.
Like it's maybe going.
Brandon said he might not be here next week, so I'm waiting on his answer.
I'll let you know on Friday.
Okay. But we can move on to something else. What you want to do?
Let's touch real quick on DC. We got 80 minutes in. How long are we doing? 2 hours?
We can do 2. I mean,
or we can skip that.
You want to skip DC?
Time. What you mean DC? You mean like
the comic book?
Oh, okay.
I do want to talk about what's going on in Washington, but I think we could wait because I want to see what the fuck's gonna happen.
Okay.
Let's wait a week or 2. We could talk about Joe Budden, Eminem. We could talk about Lil Wayne.
We could talk about MGK, or we could talk about Eminem in general. One thing I wanted to bring up just before we let it go is you heard Kanye announce Good Ass Job?
Oh yeah, we could talk about that
album.
Yeah.
Yes,
but it's a joint album.
Who?
With who? Guess. You would never guess, but
Cudi?
Just try.
No.
Somebody from Chicago. That'll make it easier. Come on, now, that's easy.
The hottest nigga in Chicago besides Kanye. Yeah.
Chance. Yeah. Y'all can't see his face through the audio, but his face is fucked up right now. You don't like Chance? Do you like Chance?
No, not really, no.
I mean, I like Chance. I don't listen to Chance, though. His music.
So you don't like him?
No, dog. Oh, yeah, we had the conversation before, nigga. That's like not him. What that means.
It is. If you don't, listen, man, you mean to tell... If somebody...
I can shut you down. Go ahead. I'll shut you down in one sentence. Go ahead. I like Ray Charles. I don't listen to Ray Charles, nigga.
No, I'm scared.
Now you don't want to say it.
But...
I like Aretha Franklin. I don't be riding around listening to R.E.S.P.C.T.
In this day, okay, but now, a person who makes music now that's is similar age to you, you mean to tell me if somebody makes music that's good to your ears, but you don't listen to it, that means you don't like his music.
I mean, I have listened to his music.
But you don't listen to him.
But if I get in the car, I'm not throwing no Chance. I heard his whole Coloring Book album. Okay. It was good. Right?
How is it good and you don't want to listen to it?
I just, it's a lot of albums I don't listen to.
To me, all I'm saying is, if you like somebody's music, you will listen to it.
No, that's not necessarily true.
Remember the album you sent me? I asked for that album and you sent it to me. I actually listened to that in the car, even though I just didn't tell you. I listened to it. I listen to people that I like. See what I'm saying? It's no way.
Dude, so
you cannot, especially rap. Like I understand 1956 Motown. You ain't really fucking with it. I understand.
So I like Westside Gunn and Conway, right?
Yes.
Do you know how often I listen to them?
How do you listen to them?
Almost never.
Why?
Because I just don't. Like, first of all,
so do you really like them, man?
I love them. I spent $50 on that album. And I mean literally, I have vinyls that I spent $40 to get. I collect their music. I like them a lot. Harden put me onto them, and he's a much bigger fan than me, but I don't listen. Like, I like Rock Marciano. I think Rock Marciano is one of the dopest niggas out that don't nobody know. But I don't ever listen to him because it's just like, first of all, this is important to state. At this point in my life, I don't listen to a whole lot of music. I don't know, like, it kind of just changed. Like, I don't have long commutes to where I can listen to music. Mm-hmm. Like, most of the time I get in the car, it'd be like, it ain't worth the trouble, like,
searching
through Tidal for something real quick. I might just go to Tidal and go to my collection and just play the random tracks. But, like, I don't usually go to albums. Like, I heard a few people's albums one time and I just never went back. Like, I kind of missed that part of my life. I don't ever really get to listen to music. So there's a lot of music that's out there that I just never listened to. Like, I heard the J&B album twice.
So to me, when I hear that means, okay, so let me come off my side. Let me take a step towards the middle. You like the music, but nothing grabbed you.
Right. So
is the music actually good if it didn't grab you?
So look, I'll get in the car, right? A lot of times I'll be wanting to hear some gangster shit. So I'll listen to Freddie Gibbs more than I'll listen to Jay-Z.
Freddie,
first of all, let me say this. Freddie Gibbs is so motherfucking underrated, dude. His last album, it had some shit on there. I was in the car like screaming to myself, like, oh my God, this shit's so cool. But anyway, so I get in. A lot of times I'll throw on some gangster shit. Like, let's miss me with that bullshit. I was throwing that on all the time because it's just got this bounce to it. Like, it's just easy.
Till Future comes on.
But then I'm not about to just ride around listening to Magna Carta.
Till Future comes on.
I just laugh through that whole part, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when I do listen to music, very rarely I'll just listen to these very specific types of songs that are just real easy to consume. Like, but if I'm sitting,
I agree with you. I agree in that regard.
I'm not about to ride around listening to fucking Jay-Z rapping about art right now. Like, I don't feel like it. And those songs are good.
You're just trying to catch like a vibe.
I'm just trying to listen to some gangster shit right now.
Yeah, catch a vibe.
So, anyway, back to the original point. I think Chance is good, but I think Chance is just, I don't know. I don't only want to be listening to him. Like, I feel like girls like his music more than we do.
I think he's just putting Chance on it just because he's the hottest thing out right now. I don't think it's really any necessary thought behind the project or.
So Kanye announced 3 albums in the last week or 2.
Yes,
he delivered when he says it though, so I gotta believe him.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see shit else. Give me a Watch the Throne too. Make up with. Go call your brother, your older brother. Squash this shit and give us.
Well, he said it's coming, so maybe they talked. I don't know. Maybe they didn't.
That's what I want. I want that. I think that combo would be. I don't think there's a. Let me not be prison a moment. Nah, I was not gonna say that. I don't want to say something. John want to jump out the window and say something crazy.
Nobody better than that.
Like I was gonna say like Jay-Z and Kanye at their best.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think it's no duo fucking with them in no way, shape, or form. Like I think they bring the best out of each other. Like because they're not the same. They don't have the same backgrounds. They ain't the same person. They don't have the same demeanors. But I guess in the musical space, they crack the door and let God in.
It's gonna be fire if they do that.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fire, especially if Kanye get back on, because he been on some shit lately with his beats. Like that Pusha T album was immaculate, dude. To me,
Yeah, that's never been the problem. That's never been the problem.
I think that's everybody.
That ain't the problem,
bro. Immaculate. And did I tell y'all I went to see him live?
When?
Harden took me like a month ago.
No,
really, no.
Yeah, Harden had an extra ticket and shit, I think, and it was just like, you want to go? I'm like, yeah.
And
Great show. Shout out to the biggest Lions fan in the world,
Harden. Shout out. That nigga said he gave up, bro.
That might.
He said that every year.
Then give me that jacket then.
He said that every year.
Give me that jacket. I want that jacket.
Harden took me to the Pusha T show. Very, very good show. It was at St. Andrews. This is just a small show, but those be the best shows.
How was it? Was he a good performer?
Oh, yeah. And that was one thing that surprised me, too. Like, Pusha T is a good performer. Like, you know, that's some people you just never really think about like that in that light. Like, he's very good. Like, he had this Jay-Z vibe where he was a little more energetic than Jay-Z, but he had this vibe where it was just like, what he's saying is so captivating. He don't have to jump around and throw water in the crowd and and you know,
wave a towel, shit like that.
Right. His fucking music is so powerful. He's just standing up there rapping.
Dope ass voice.
He got his voice crazy.
Yeah, that's really what.
His whole vibe is just powerful. Like, so.
Push underrated.
Oh, absolutely.
I really wish we would have been doing this podcast during that whole
the beef.
Drake and
Right, it's way too late to talk about that shit.
Yeah, it really is.
And he proved himself in that little exchange. Like, no, I don't think anybody expected him to do that.
I don't know. I don't think anyone was surprised. I don't think we were surprised.
I was surprised. Because I never really seen him in no beef. Now, I know he's great, but you know, you never really know how somebody performs. Like, for instance, when Drake and Meek got into it, I'm like, this nigga Meek about to destroy him. Mm-hmm. And then Meek was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm rooting for you, and you really acting like a bitch right now.
Because he don't know, because he's been perfect for beef in 2000. It's a different animal now.
Right.
Like, you gotta, social media single-handedly won Drake that beef, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
Single-handedly. Like, he could have said...
And that fucking...
And Meek kept checking O's. Just
Meek kept
trampoline.
I'm like, it's no way Meek is gonna get bodied by Drake. And lo and behold, and shout out to them clicking up. That was a topic that I had written down for last week, but fuck it, all that shit too old. Pop culture moves way too fast.
Yeah, he brought him out in Philly though.
Yeah, he brought him out in Philly. That was dope, man. Good look. I appreciate that they back together. Hopefully that makes another song pop up from them, whatever.
You want to hear a Drake and Meek album, or which one you want to hear more? Drake and Meek or
they
Kendrick
said something about that?
J. Cole.
No, Kendrick and J. Cole by far,
bro. That shit would be.
Oh, by far.
Do you know how massive that would be?
Oh my god!
And you know what? I think it's coming, but I think they're lying. I mean, artists lie all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't know if y'all seen the Angie interview that J. Cole did, but he basically was like he stepped around it a lot. Like he won't say that it won't happen, but he said they just kind of in a different space and they
just tweeted about it, or somebody tweeted for him saying like I'm about to leak this Kendrick and J. Cole album. I think he might have got hacked.
What? When was this?
This was like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh, what?
Oh,
no, I didn't hear that.
Please.
Yeah, it might have been.
I'll be more excited for that than to watch the Throne 2.
Because look, maybe like 2 years ago, Ab-Soul was like, they definitely are working on an album. But then Kendrick hasn't said anything, but then J. Cole was like, he's like, no, we just kind of in different spaces. We busy, he's busy. He was like, I'm not going to say it never happened, but it's just like, we not really working on that right now, basically. Like, okay, so it says, what's up, motherfuckers? Cole left this laptop open, so before we leak this new Cole and Kendrick album, check this link. He left his laptop open. Did he ever come out and dispute this?
Nah, this was the 15th. What's today? The 18th?
18th, 3 days ago. No, I didn't hear nothing about that. But I don't know, dude. I don't know if I want to hear a Drake and Meek album, but I definitely want to hear like 3-4 more songs.
No, not an album.
I think it would be weird for them to do an album.
I want to hear Drake with somebody that makes him rapidy rap Drake again. Like I need. If you're reading this, if you're reading this, Drake, I need that guy.
Oh man,
I need that guy back.
Yeah.
Even if I gotta suffer through Future for a little bit.
What about Wayne?
Huh?
What about Wayne?
No, I think he washed.
Carter 5. There we go. Good
segue. Balding.
So Carter 5 was announced to come out.
Oh my god.
Carter 5. You said balding like oh, y'all niggas is tripping, dude. So I think Charlamagne said that on The Brilliant Idiots. Like,
just because you died don't mean it's not going away.
He was like, Wayne looks stupid right now. Like, he need to just let that hair go.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't care about that. What I care about is the fact that this man's finally from under the thumb of the Lugs God, Birdman. The Lugs God, Birdman Senior. He finally
and Slim.
He is the sole owner of Young Money now.
Do you believe that?
That's what they say.
Who's on Young Money?
Not Drake. Or Drake's
Nicki.
about to get off.
Or
Drake
Nicki.
and two
I
of
won't
the
say he's
biggest
about to get
acts
off.
in the world.
I won't say he's about to get off, but his contract is coming to a close.
And they're Cash Money Young Money artists.
Are they?
Yeah.
No. They said years ago they're signed to Wayne. Nicki said that.
That's it's weird because they always say Cash Money, Young Money.
But that's the thing. Young Money is Cash Money is a umbrella, right? A parent.
Mm-hmm. No. They're not. They're
not the umbrella. They're signed to somebody else.
Yeah. What is it? Is it Universal? Is that
they have a partnership?
They're the parent,
right? But they have a partnership.
They're the subsidiary.
Like Rockefeller and Def Jam.
Yes.
So it's like that, but so then you got to step down, which would be Cash Money. Cash Money. Then you have a
subsidiary.
Right. You have Young Money. So technically, they were signed through Wayne, and they said, or at least Drake said, I think, like, they wouldn't have signed to that label at all if it wasn't for Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that money, if it worked the way it's supposed to, if you didn't work for a gangster, if you wasn't signed to Birdman, the money would go through Wayne's hands first, I think.
No,
you know what
it went through Slim and Baby hands first,
and then Wayne got his pennies. I don't know, but I know. I don't even know about all that shit about him being the sole owner and all of that. But I know. I think it's just ironic that, you know, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but when Wayne was going through all this shit with getting Carter 5 released, and Baby was telling him no, you know, first of all, it was to keep him in his contract because this is his last obligated album.
Right.
And before he can leave and possibly go to Roc Nation or something, or Rockefeller back in the day, you know, he was keeping him from doing all of that. But at the time is when, what's his name? Young Thug was hot.
Mm-hmm.
And Baby was riding that wave. So it was almost like, nigga, I don't need you. I'ma shelf your album and Young Thug, you know, it's my Lil Wayne now. And then even Young Thug sent digs at Wayne and all of that shit. And
Barter 5.
Barter 5, right. And
the disrespect.
Hey, I like Young Thug.
I do too.
All right, we could call this a rap.
No, say something. I don't like anything that he does.
Oh God, bro, y'all crazy.
He makes good music.
Listen to his music. He got some fire.
He does.
He got some fire.
He does.
I'm serious.
I'm at the pass.
Everybody be like, he's a genius. Even T.I. said it first, and I'm like, man, you crazy. Fuck that. Then I listened to him, like, this nigga got some fire, bro.
I'll take your word for it.
He got some fire. I was surprised because I listened to some tapes and some albums, and I'm like, I'm very surprised. But anyway.
All right, well, we got like a half hour left. Y'all want to get into this Eminem Joe Budden shit real quick?
Man, we going to have to. That's going to end it.
All right.
No, well, then let's do. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
What are you going to say?
Well, we going to do Captain Marvel still?
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
Have you seen the trailer, Jared?
I saw the trailer today.
What'd you think?
Underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed?
I'm not excited for that movie at all.
I'm gonna see it.
I thought it looked good.
I mean, I'm gonna
It's a teaser. It's a teaser too.
I don't like when they. I shouldn't say obscure characters because there's plenty of obscure characters that need a. This is a nerd topic, so this nerd topic. Fast forward 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
It's a nerd topic. I don't really.
I don't know nothing about her, so it wasn't enough. I couldn't really get excited anyway.
She's like she's like a Superman-esque character. She can fly, she can do all that, but it didn't do nothing for me when I watched. It was just like, when I watched Infinity War, it gave me chills. When I saw Black Panther, when he jumped off the side of the building and then put his hand in the rim of the car and tore the tire, gave me chills. I don't know.
It's gonna have to be one of those movies that you just go and see before you can actually be excited about.
But I'm gonna go see it. But I'm not excited whatsoever.
Kind of like I don't know what I can attribute it. Maybe like Doctor Strange. Like I wasn't necessarily excited about Doctor Strange, but I went to see it like, this is pretty good.
If she comes in the next Infinity War movie and give Thanos hands, I'm gonna be extra pissed.
But she's one of the most more powerful characters, right?
I mean, she's strong, yeah, but I mean, she's not like she ain't tipping no. She's not tipping scales like the balance of battle. Like say it's a stalemate. Ain't shit. If she pop up, it's not gonna change anything. But we gonna see. I'm just not really.
As someone who does not know anything about Captain Marvel, I saw it. I was impressed by like what I saw. Like I thought it looked great. Good. I just don't know enough to care. Like
right.
But Marvel's done a good job at making these lesser known characters stories good. Like I didn't know who Ant-Man was, and that was, in my opinion, one of the better ones. And same with I mean, I knew who Doctor Strange was, but I wouldn't expect to like a movie about it, and it was one of the best. He's one of the better characters in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
They went back in time.
Yeah, like 95.
Yeah, because
Samuel Jackson had
hair, right?
Is that his real hair?
and his eye, and his eye,
and his eye. Yep. But I didn't even realize that. Yep.
So I did like the last like eighth of it, like that the editing and shit on that was pretty dope.
I think it's gonna be one of those sleeper movies that you go see and be like, damn, this shit good. I think it's gonna have that vibe to it, like it's gonna be pretty dope, but it's gonna be like a sleeper. That's what I think.
I agree.
So yeah, we can shit. I really don't have too much more to say about that. I was just gonna wait. What was the release date? Did it say?
April, March? What was it?
Yeah, I know it can't be too far away, and it's coming before the next Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
So we just have to reserve judgment until it actually comes out. I think it'll be dope, bro. But that's all we can really go on. Just I don't really know too much about the character.
It is coming out March 8th, 2019.
Right, and I think Infinity War comes out that April. Or something like that, or maybe 2 months later or something.
Right.
But yeah, I just reserve judgment. It do look good as hell though. I just don't know enough about her. But I know Marvel has not really disappointed us that many times before. Like, they've disappointed us for sure, but you know, most of the times they do pretty good with their characters. You know,
and that's a whole topic that we can spend a whole episode on. But we can get back onto that. All right, so lastly, let's talk about Eminem, Joe Budden, and Eminem versus everybody, honestly. Did you listen to the songs, E?
Nope.
Which songs? What you mean?
Any of them?
No.
You didn't listen to his album?
No.
So your point is new.
It isn't.
It is. It has to be, dude. Because if you didn't listen to the album, you can't judge it.
Can I?
Because that shows a prejudice. It shows a prejudice.
I mean, this the
more the same.
That's gonna be the same trash ass. You know.
Man, it's fire on the album. I'm trying to tell you.
I'd rather listen to Ross.
I'm trying to tell
Justice League.
Man, you can listen to two. You can eat vanilla and chocolate, bro.
I know. I
didn't even mean for that. I didn't even mean for the racial pun, but for real, you can eat. You can have Edie's and Briars, my nigga.
I don't know, man. I think it's just one of the things. I'm just set. Like, I'm good.
I see.
I'm good.
Because you want to give this nigga a chance, dog.
I gave a chance in the past.
You gave him a chance for what? What am I trying to say?
Nigga start off with recovery or relapse.
Right.
Was it relapse?
No, I think I said like Eminem songs and shit like
recovery.
I think this nigga E was an Eminem fan, and then once Nas said Eminem killed him on his own on Jay-Z's verse, he's just like, I'm done with him.
Right, because you a Jay-Z stan.
First of all,
as we all are.
That's not true.
We all love Jay.
It's not true.
What's not true? My theory or
yeah, your theory's trash. Uber trash. But I just never. Again, I've never valued the. Not say value. I'm not gonna say valued. I just do not like the heavy wordplay. The heavy. I never.
Well, that means you don't
never
like that style. Right? Or you don't like Tech Nine, or you don't like. I don't really like Tech Nine either, but
you're not helping your argument.
I respect Tech Nine, but I don't really like Tech Nine. But
I think Royce does it better. Does it
absolutely
because it makes something relatable for you.
Yeah, I think Royce does it better.
Royce does. He does honestly, the syllable rap from a perspective that we can understand. First of all, and he's not just saying shock. One thing that I was mad at Eminem about was his verse on Big Sean album. Disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Disgusting. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But other than that, dude,
hold
like
on, I gotta.
His Shady XV cipher, trash.
His BET cipher.
His BET Donald Trump cipher, trash. The last good cipher I seen him do was the one when Roy said hi Rihanna.
Yeah. That was the Slaughterhouse one.
Slaughterhouse, and Eminem went last. He did good. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah, long.
2011. Because I just watched it just a couple weeks ago.
Time flies.
I'm like, Eminem killed this one. But then when he did a Shady XV cipher, which wasn't on BT, it was just his standalone shit. Trash. That was in a train station, I think.
Yeah.
Trash. Because I'm like, you're just rhyming a bunch of syllables. So understand, I get it. I know what you're saying.
I get it too.
I think, sorry, but I think the main issue I have is I think I'm more of a production person. Like, that matters more to me.
And he said that. Did you watch his interview?
No, I did not watch it all. It's 12 minutes.
The sway. No, it was 4 parts, so it was about an hour.
Okay, but I do not like his production at all. Like, to me, how can I go from Rick Ross and Justice League and Maybach 3? I just can't get it.
This is
I can't feel it. I like to feel the production. I like the music to put me in a place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I like.
No, I understand. Trust me, dude. And when I say that, I'm not just saying it to pander to you. I'm saying it because I really get it.
Yeah.
Because there's two sides of me. There's a duality, right? So I can listen to.
Okay, Hov.
I can listen to a Rick Ross, and I can understand his fan base looking at Eminem like, we don't fuck with that shit. Like, I don't want to hear this white boy talking about all this bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Right. Like, if you listen to somebody like Rick Ross, or if you're a fan of, like, if I listen to nothing but Vezzo or you know, these hood artists, you have absolutely no interest in something like an Eminem. But me, I had an interesting intake of pop culture coming up, right? So I've been to rock concerts. I listened to a lot of rock music when I was coming up. I listened to a lot of white artists. I've been to, I was in the wrestlings, which came with its own music and things that I was interested in that kind of gave me a view into like that other side that the average black kid wouldn't be interested in. Mm-hmm. So when I hear Eminem, it's reminiscent of that. But another thing that makes me interested in him is how dark his content used to be.
Yeah, and that was new in rap.
It was new in rap, right. A lot of artists didn't talk about when he was out. It was almost like he was the rap version of like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Where he could talk about death or he could talk about all these dark topics. Now, and the average rap fan is just like rap about your chain or rap about that new Benz or rap about these hoes.
All the shit you got, but not the problems you have internally.
But that was not even heard of like in 1999. Mm-hmm. Besides DMX or, there was artists who definitely touched on it. I won't
not
say
like
that,
mainstream.
but it
wasn't a whole lot of mainstream.
So it wasn't a whole lot of mainstream, right? So when I look at Eminem, he offered me this darkness. Like when he said, I take a bath with the Catholics and go to war with the Mormons and all of that shit. To me, it's this powerful, dark type of rap that Jay-Z wasn't offering on that track. They came from two different total opposite ends of the spectrum, but it worked to me. You said you like Jay-Z's verse better, and I get that. Jay-Z killed it. I think Eminem did too, but it's from somebody else's perspective to be able to appreciate that. So, in turn, all I'm saying is that I can understand why you wouldn't like Eminem. Like, people might even take this as crazy, but the same vibe that I get from Eminem's words, I kind of get that from Pusha T sometimes. Mm-hmm. Pusha T is a very dark artist, but because he has a relatable street element to what he's saying, he had a song called Crutches, Crosses, Caskets, or whatever.
Yep.
Like, all his music could be dark as hell. Like, everything comes on with this over-the-top theatrics. Like, Pusha T, I'm talking about all this over-the-top theatrics, and he always talks about these patinas and he always paints these pictures that are just kind of like dark as fuck.
He talk about heaven and hell a lot, too.
Heaven and hell, demons, whatever. Like, Pusha T is like, that's exactly right. When I listen to Pusha T, I picture, like, heaven and hell. Like, when I listen to Eminem, I picture that too, but it's just a different twist, white boy twist on it and shit. Like, trust me, I can understand why somebody be like, Eminem is corny.
I agree. That's why I like whenever someone says something that they don't fuck with them. Like, I'm not offended. Like, I understand why someone wouldn't. But I think that most people into rap would at least say, he's nice with the pen. I don't think you would disagree with that. I just don't think he's for you.
I don't think. Oscar. So just in the arguments we've had in our private chats, I don't think the pen is questionable. I don't think you can say he is whack when it just comes to putting a pen to pad.
Right.
But as far as song making, it just
right. It just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So what about?
Here's my other beef, though. I'm sorry. It's my other beef. I think personally, this is my personal belief, is that I think if you've changed the color of his skin, we won't even know who he is.
So to that, I'll say, how come MGK isn't as big as him?
Because there's only room for one white rapper.
No, that's not true. So there's white rappers that came before him.
Because I don't think he's as good as Eminem.
I don't think any white rap. I don't think a lot of rappers are.
I don't think there is one. There wasn't one before him,
because if that's the case,
and there won't be one after him.
Vanilla Ice had one of the biggest singles in rap history. How come we don't even care about him?
Well, too much success is too much success.
I'll say this:
that'll kill you.
Me and E had a very heated debate.
No. Start over. Start over.
What?
Pablo.
Thank you. No.
I'm sorry. Me and Pablo Frescobar had a very heated debate.
We gotta figure out a better way to say that.
about M. We were talking about M and J Electronica. We were talking about M and MGK. We were talking about M in general.
Very heated.
So, I mean, that shit don't mean nothing to me. Like, it was just a debate. Like, I didn't take it personal, but I'm just saying,
of course.
So we were talking about that, and one of the things that you said was you don't think that he would have been as big as he was if he wasn't white. Eminem feels the same way.
Because he talked about it on the album.
He said it. He said it. He would have sold half if he was white. You know that because he said it in White America. But okay.
But then on this album, he said, if I only blow because I'm white, how come other white rappers?
And that's one thing you have to ask, because before him there was Rob Bass, there was the Beastie Boys, there was Vanilla Ice, there was a few white rappers that we don't care about. Like, we care about Beastie Boys for sure.
Shit, Macklemore.
See, now if you pay attention to the culture of hip hop, I'll say this and I'll say it till I die. The culture of hip hop is self-cleansing. I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yeah.
Macklemore showed up, he sold
and disappeared.
Hell amount of records, but we don't give a fuck about Macklemore.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
It's a self-clean. We don't talk about, and it was rap.
He did an independent. He could actually rap, and he was at Ferguson and shit, and we don't talk about.
But if we don't fuck with you, we don't fuck with you. I don't give a fuck if you black or white, because the same could be said for Tech N9ne. We fuck with Tech N9ne. We love him because Tech N9ne is intertwined in the culture. We love him as an artist and as a person, but because he signed J-Rock and all this wild shit that he's entered, he give a lot of love and respect and advice to artists and shit like that. But nobody from the culture really listens to Tech N9ne. You know what I'm saying? We're not walking around talking about Tech N9ne. That's a whole different demographic and culture that has nothing to do with hip hop.
So you can say, honestly, you can say the same thing about similar artists, similar black artists. So you can say like Tech N9ne, Hopkins, who else?
Esham from Detroit. It's a lot of artists.
But they're not moving units like him. They're not really even making noise. Like a lot of those people, most people wouldn't even know who that is, like a casual fan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put on the other side, you put, these white rappers who aren't making music like Eminem. They're not moving like him either. So I think Eminem just came like at the perfect time.
I was about to say
it was like the perfect storm.
But this is why I respect Eminem, right? When you said when we were arguing, you said you don't give a fuck about his past. But I'm gonna tell you why that can't be the case, bro. Because like I said, this was the reason I said this. Hip hop is a self-cleansing entity. It's like it decides. Hip hop it governs itself as far as who we care about and what matters to us by these criteria that is really unspoken and really unwritten. Like, we don't know what the criteria are, but it's just a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at somebody like Macklemore, we don't give a fuck about him. It wasn't decided. We didn't have a conversation, but we just don't. And he sold hella records, and it was rap, but we don't give a fuck. But for some reason, Eminem stuck, even though he don't even fit the mold. And I'll say it's because of these reasons. One, Eminem paid his dues for a long time, and people don't know that story. He was running around New Jersey with Redman and the Lost Boys, proving himself. We talking about Redman is one of the most renowned spitters in the game. And Redman stepped up and was like, man, that nigga is for sure thorough. Like, you don't just go to New Jersey, bro, and Brick City. You don't just go to Brick City and just be white and not have to prove yourself and stand next to these people in these
legendary artists.
Right. You have to stand next to these people and prove yourself. I'm pretty sure if Eminem had went to New Jersey and spent that time with Redman and them back in the day, he'd have never been heard of if Redman, with his power and his position in the culture, would have been like, no, he's fugazi. Eminem would have never took off. Or if Dre would have met him and be like, this nigga is trash. Or if people in Detroit, in the hip hop shop, when he was running around the city destroying niggas on stages, if people would have been like, this nigga is really like, if he's just Macklemore. He's just Macklemore. He's just some white boy who can rap, but he's really not about it. But Eminem know more about hip hop than everybody in this room. Like when he just did an interview with Sway, he brings a 30-year-old vinyl to Sway to have Sway sign it, and Sway like, where the fuck did you find this at?
Right.
I know people who know Eminem personally who would say they talk to him about hip hop, and he's like this fucking dictionary of hip hop. Like, he knows more about the culture than all of us do.
Yeah. Shit, Joe Budden on his last podcast was saying he's an alien. Like,
right. Even Joe Budden said he's in his top 5 or whatever, and he's Joe Budden recognizes this nigga can rap, but he said in the last 10 years he hasn't been saying anything, and I can agree.
Yes.
I said Tyler Perry.
What the
I watched a Tyler Perry movie today.
I was gonna say Tyler the Creator. That was the other person I was gonna bring up.
Tyler the Creator. I said Tyler Perry. I was watching.
Your girl made you watch that?
No, I watched it myself. I was just up on some late night shit, and I was like going through my Fire Stick, and Daddy's Little Girl was on there, and I just clicked it like, what is this shit? But like a little bit into it, I realized I had already seen it and hated it.
I saw a meme saying that Tyler Perry was trying to work with Marvel, and then somebody said, "Ain't nobody trying to see Madea goes to Madea meets the Avengers or something."
Oh my God! No, please don't let that nigga into the building.
Please, God,
none of that bullshit.
No,
I do not condone.
Madea with the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh my God! Everybody gonna have a 56 Cadillac.
No, fuck all that. But what I was gonna say was Tyler the Creator was like Shady XV was trash. Shady XV was trash.
Right.
It was trash.
His Bad Meets Evil.
Bad Meets Evil was great, nigga. Don't say that.
Bro, trying to slide that in there.
No, Bad Meets Evil was great. That was 2000.
That was the same time as Watch the Throne. Maybe a year.
Right. Because all those joint albums was coming out.
Yeah.
You just really hate Eminem, dude.
You can rap.
You really don't like none of his music.
All right, so let's get into Eminem versus everybody.
Sorry, bro.
You want to do MGK or Joe Budden first? I think Joe Budden's a little bit more of a conversation.
MGK, let's do it.
All right, so did you
hear Rap Devil?
No.
So you just arguing with me for 4 hours the other night and didn't even listen to his shit.
I have an excuse.
What?
Got a baby at home.
Man, fuck out of here. Rap Devil came out a week before your baby got here.
We had doctor's appointments.
All right, anyway, what you think?
I think Rap Devil was good.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't blow me away, but it did surprise me because I don't listen to MGK. I've heard him over the years. I have a homeboy that like him. Tefe likes him.
Oh, does he?
Tefe likes MGK a lot. He was trying to put me on him because I remember we was riding to get Indian food, and he put on some MGK. It was some songs I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But then there was some songs like, yeah, I'm never listening to MGK again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never listen to him again. But when this song came out, it sounded modern. It sounded like he could rap.
You talking about Rap Devil?
Yeah, Rap Devil.
Okay.
When it came out, it was like, it sounded good. The beat was hard. He was saying some shit that was like, ooh, like that was a kidney punch right there and shit. Like, you know, he held his own. It wasn't like.
I think it was a good effort.
Yeah.
It was a solid effort. I mean, I thought it was unexpected, especially for it to come out, what, a day, 2 after?
Yeah.
And with a video.
Was it a knockout blow? I mean, was it like was it a jab, like charged up or was it a right?
It was charged up.
No, okay. I feel like.
Or was it a right hook or a left hook? Joe Frazier left hook.
I feel like he tried. Like, I feel like that was.
I think that's as good as it's gonna get.
I think that was the best effort we're gonna get from him.
Because I don't know what else MGK can say about Eminem, and MGK especially is losing the war.
I would agree.
Even if you said that he won that battle, he's losing the war. Because the shit you sent me yesterday, you sent us the Twitter thing when he was on stage with the middle finger.
Yeah. And there's booing him.
Yeah.
And there's videos of it.
See.
He performing in front of Fall Out Boys.
and what did I say? It's gonna take somebody on his level to take him down.
Oh, that's something we gotta talk about. We'll get to that. But MGK, so you sent me. Brandon sends a thing through Twitter. We gotta start explaining shit because people don't know what the fuck we send through the group chat.
Yes.
So Brandon,
basically MGK is opening for Fall Out Boys.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. So This is what I saw people were saying. MGK opens up for Fall Out Boys. He performs with this sweatshirt on, and then he says, "Y'all mind if y'all hold your middle fingers up or whatever?" He turns around. He takes his jacket off.
and it has the Kill Shot logo.
And then everyone's holding up the middle fingers.
Which is Eminem's diss.
Yeah. Right. He turns around, and then from what at least Twitter, I don't know, I wasn't there, but at least Twitter was saying like everyone booed basically. They was
telling him to get the fuck off the stage.
Right.
I was reading through the comments and shit.
And then he performed, and people were booing him. And I saw a video of that. People are like for real booing. There's a couple people cheering, whatever, but for the most part, it was a lot of boos. So just that alone, Eminem doesn't have to respond, like ever. And I don't think we were gonna get a response anyway. But
even they weren't booing, he's done. I mean, because how many times he gonna be responding to every little thing people beneath you say?
No, exactly.
It's going to stop somewhere.
Unless it's like an amazing rap or diss or whatever, I don't think we're gonna hear from.
So
Eminem responding to random people.
Yeah, MGK tried to pull a stunt on stage and had people fake pose, but he asked them to put their middle fingers up, but they was putting their middle fingers up at this nigga, but he took the picture like, oh, they all riding with me against M, but they weren't. Well, they were telling you get the fuck out of here because first of all, why are you here, MGK? Right. We're here to see a rock concert with Fall Out Boy, also, not your ass.
This is not the 90s anymore. Like, people can talk about what the fuck really happened.
Right. Right. So it's not just a picture like, oh, no. Then them same people get on Twitter like, no, that's not what happened. Right? So do it live.
Can you imagine all the artists and all the entertainers, they're lucky as fuck.
That it wasn't this era?
Man, my God.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, especially his ass.
We can talk about that another episode.
Oh, you know some shit?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know nothing. But yeah, so and then Eminem responds with Kill Shot, and I didn't think Kill Shot blew me away either. To be honest, I thought it was better than MGK's response, and I mean, just honestly, non-biasedly judging.
I think considering who Eminem is and who MGK was, it was a great effort. Because name any artist. Just name any artist.
Nas.
Yeah.
Can you name, like, if you were dissing Nas, can you name like 3 to 5 things that you would diss?
Yes.
Can you do the same with Jay? Can you do the same with M?
Yes.
Can you do the same with MGK?
No.
I don't know. One, I don't know who he is. I don't know nothing about him. But again, you name Nas. He has a 30-year career.
I'm also naming people on like Eminem's level in terms of
okay.
You know where they are like in history. But like, what the fuck is he gonna say besides? Because I mean,
you from Ohio, bitch.
Right. Like all he can really talk about is Eminem could really talk about is how he's a better rapper and how he sold more.
He should never responded to him in my eyes. I mean, I didn't hear the song, but to me, I think he's just somebody that's not even in your universe.
Mm-hmm.
Why even waste your time? Again, because what are you gonna say about him? You don't know who the fuck he is.
Right.
And all you can say is that he's whack. Mm-hmm. Essentially, and I mean that's your opinion. But what else you gonna actually? These other guys, you got years of material.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what are you gonna say to him? We should have responded to him in my eyes.
And I mean, and the very first line he says is, "This is the only time I'm doing this shit," or whatever. So, I mean, I think knowing that, I think it was a good effort, but I don't think it was like the hardest diss we ever heard.
I think Eminem you talking about Kill Shot? I think Eminem was just jogging, on the treadmill because like you said. Y'all said that he only went at pop stars. I know he hasn't beefed with any monster. So you're right. He has never beefed with a Jay. He didn't go through the fire like Nas went through the fire. Because Nas was the underdog in that battle. And Nas came out. A lot of people say, it's a debate. It's a very long talked about thing in hip hop who won.
Lose his career.
Nobody's like, neither one of them niggas got crushed by either one of the others.
They still here.
They're still here and they're both still respected it, and they even know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nas can't be like, your track was weak, and Jay-Z definitely can't say that Ether was weak because shit, it stood up against Jay-Z. Jay-Z was like I said, Nas was the underdog, and Nas stood up, dude.
Just remember Nas back then. Don't think about Nas now, who's had a string of 5 cold ass. Well, that streak was broken recently, but think about Nas back then. Like, he was really obscure. I mean, think about it. Like he
had
like
maybe 3 albums at the time, 4,
but
Stillmatic was the 4th.
No, it ain't come out yet. Remember the turnaround time?
It was like 6 months.
It was a long time before we heard
that
Nas
song was on Stillmatic.
Yeah, it can't because Blueprint came out in 2001. I think Stillmatic came out in 2002.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So September 11, 2001, Blueprint came out.
Right.
My mom would let me get it that day. I was so mad. but I wanted to say sorry.
Talk about Nas.
Yeah. About Nas. He had a bad string of albums. So that was literally a huge yes.
David and Goliath fight.
Yes.
So, and Nas stood up, and that was when he pretty much solidified itself. First of all, Stillmatic was fire. Then his response was fire. So it was like, okay, now he's in the halls of the greats, bro. There's nothing you can say.
That was like really the time, TRL, 106 & Park and shit. Like, also the perfect storm. Like, and rap was like really.
And the radio mattered.
Right. And rap was like on the way to becoming as popular as it is now. So that was like the perfect storm as well.
Nothing in this shit for Eminem to gain from this little.
No, but I think with this Joe Budden, if it ever happens, I think that's more of a game. But still, even then,
Budden would flame him.
I agree.
I don't think it would be any competition. And Joe Budden has so many. Joe Budden is like a fucking wild animal, dude. When he just raps regular, he just making songs for himself. He be going hard.
Did you listen to the last Joe Budden podcast?
Yeah.
You listen Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't think Joe Budden wants to diss Eminem, but I'm not saying that like he's scared. I just don't think he like really wants to even like get involved in that.
I don't think so either.
He shouldn't.
And like I don't think Eminem's scared of Budden either, because I mean Eminem dissed him 3 times. He even took a shot at him at this MGK one.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't think Budden really wants to get involved in that. I think I don't know. Budden's weird because he's so extra.
But then he be so calm when it's time to be extra.
Yeah, like he'll show nothing but love. He said like, I love Eminem as a person or as a rapper. But
he does fuck shit behind the scenes.
Yeah, he has his beef is with him as a businessman and what his expectations.
Joe Budden said himself though, when he be going off on people on the podcast, he be putting extra sauce on it.
That's what he said on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
that's what he said.
But I think Eminem's probably a terrible businessman, but Joe Budden is not great either.
But Eminem defended himself in that Sway interview.
He is now.
He defended that point in the Sway interview. He said he did go hard for Slaughterhouse, but then he said they fell apart.
But Joe Budden responded to that saying,
he did?
Like, how did you go? Like, he's saying Eminem might be delusional because, like, how did he go hard? Like,
I gotta listen to it.
You just going to the radio saying, like, check out this band, this group.
And Eminem's voice is so loud because he can get them to an audience that Slaughterhouse can never get to on their own. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Like, Joe Budden, when he said that shit, I felt it. Like, yes, he could have pushed Slaughterhouse to a place where it would have been unbelievable. And he was like, I wanted them to break through because they were so lyrical.
He said, look how Ross does his guys. How Rick Ross does his guys. He takes them everywhere. But he shows them everywhere.
But there's 2 sides of that argument.
Yeah.
Ross just happens to be good at whatever it is that you need to do that. But then you look at somebody like Jay. Jay made a conscious effort to step away from J. Cole, and even that worked. So it's like, which way is the right way?
I think that's his thing. I think that there's not one path to how, there's not just one path.
Right.
But I think it depends on certain people. Like it depends. Slaughterhouse needed all the help they could get.
Oh, absolutely.
Because even at 40-year-old rappers
even the
close
4
to the
people
end
in the group aren't good at, because even their solo careers, like, I don't know about everybody else. I was listening to Crooked Eye in 2001 when he dropped Still the Road, when he was on the soundtrack to, damn, what the fuck movie was that? It's Still the Road back when he was on death row before anybody knew who he was. I didn't listen to Joel Ortiz. I was listening to Joe Budden since Pump It Up, but fuck Pump It Up. Focus, and I listened to that whole album, and then I kept listening to the mood musics and Padded Rooms and all of that. I was a big Joe Budden fan.
Shout out to Def Jam Vendetta.
I don't know. Right, exactly. There you go. Focus was on there. I'm like, this shit's so hard.
Was it when you hit the two buttons to get it special, or whatever?
Right, man.
That shit was fire.
Yeah, that shit was fire. But I don't know a bigger Royce fan than myself. In my personal circle, I mean, I don't know a bigger Royce fan than myself. One of the songs that turned me on to hip hop was "Boom" by Royce, 1990 or 2000, 2001 or whatever. Riding in the backseat, and when my mom had the radio on, and that shit came on, and I was in the backseat mesmerized. So I've been listening to all these guys except Joel for a very long time, and I know in their solo careers they all kind of just didn't have it. Like, they didn't have whatever it takes to push a nigga over that edge to being accepted by white people, essentially. So,
but it sounded like Joe Budden didn't want Eminem around. Like, it sounded like he just wanted Eminem to, from what, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said something about Eminem just coming to the underground with them and showing his face.
Yeah, well, I thought he said he did want that, though. I mean, he wanted the support.
He said so much, though.
Like, yeah, but you know what? He did say that he remember he did say he made himself a producer, an executive producer, made himself, and he was switching out verses.
They all are saying different stories. Budden has said a couple of different things. Crooked is clearly siding with Eminem.
Clearly,
Eminem has said that he's done this, and he thought that he was doing this the right way, and like he wanted them to succeed. But Budden has said like Eminem has not shown support, or he's shown too much in the wrong area. So I think it's just a big ass misunderstanding.
I don't think it's misunderstanding.
It's somewhere in the middle.
I think what happened was this. So knowing what I know about industry and how that machine works, it's very corny, it's very dumb, and they think they know what's best, and it's the algorithms and what works best for the radio, what works best for video. How are we gonna push y'all like on some NSYNC shit? Like, but when you, first of all, Slaughterhouse should have never signed to nobody.
I agree.
Especially with Shady.
That was the worst.
It made sense friendship wise, because they all had their relationships with Aftermath, or Crooked I had his relationship with Dre. Joel Ortiz was signed to Aftermath.
Royce and them.
The whole family is related to Shady one way or another. Crooked I was on Death Row. That's extended Aftermath family. That's West Coast. Joel Ortiz was signed to Aftermath. Joe Budden had relationships with Royce, and Royce clearly had a relationship with Eminem and Dre from the very beginning of that whole thing, right? So it made sense. But if you listen to Slaughterhouse first album, there's no label for that. That album was so motherfucking raw. I've never heard nothing like it since. And then you don't take that sound to nobody. There's nobody that can do anything with that. I'm sorry. And maybe like a very underground, a major label can't do anything with that.
You think they could do good on Top Dog?
No. I don't know. That's a good ass question.
Because I want to say yeah, but Black Hippie's really not doing anything.
They could though. They just choose not to. If them niggas was put out an album right now, it's platinum. Period. But anyway, so I don't know who could fuck with them, but they should have just did the independent route. Slaughterhouse should have done what these kids is doing today. You look at somebody like A$AP Rocky. You look at somebody like A$AP Ferg. Them niggas is not signed. You know that?
Really?
Them niggas independent as fuck. Ferg on the album, Rocky told me don't take none of these niggas calls. Fuck all these niggas.
Fab, ain't that what Fab do to? Who he signed? Is he signed? Still?
Is he? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Throwing shit at the wall.
I don't know.
That's why I had to ask, because
no, he got a label situation because that.
That's right. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
That him and Jadakiss album was released through Def Jam, I think.
That's right.
But I don't know, dude. I don't think anybody should have signed. I don't think they should even seek signing. They should have just did the independent thing. They should have did the festivals. And they should have did what these kids doing, dude.
That's what Budden was saying.
But you're asking, and he said too, you're asking for 40-year-old men at the tail end of their careers to do some shit that they never had to do before. At the time, they were 35.
Well,
I'm using his words verbatim. Right. What he said. And
Joe Budden celebrated his 35th birthday standing right in front of me. Because I went to the Slaughterhouse show. His birthday when it was Joe Budden's birthday, he was standing right in front of me, drunk as fuck, high on pills, right in front of me, and they were saying happy birthday to him the whole show. So he turned 35 right in front of me. So anyway, at the time they were kind of old. You know what I'm saying? They weren't 20-year-olds, and they all had been in the industry for a long time. But at the same time, if y'all gonna take this group to where y'all wanted to go, Eminem is not the way. They got on Shady, and Shady, you can hear it all in the second album. It was garbage. Mm-hmm. There are songs on there that I like My Way, or there's songs like Flip a Bird and shit like that on the second Slaughterhouse album that was so cold to me. But you could just hear this polish of Eminem over the top of it that just was so disgusting to me. Like Eminem said, he thought in that Sway interview, he said he thought that song with CeeLo Green was going to take off. Like, this is my motherfucking life. Yes, that was a huge song, but we don't want to hear that shit from Slaughterhouse. No. These are the niggas that said, you know, whatever, when they made the Microphone song, rapping over an Alchemist beat. They rapping over You Nothing Without Focus, rapping over Focus 3 Dots beats. They rapping over, you know, they rapping over this gritty ass hip hop shit that you only get in the underground.
Yeah.
You know, it's not many people rapping over Alchemist beats in the mainstream like anymore besides Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep didn't need to be signed to G-Unit for the same reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too polished. The industry is going to polish your shit up, bro. You need Home Depot raw materials. You going to build this shit, bro. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. There's nobody that can handle a group like Slaughterhouse. And I hope they get off that contract, and I hope a couple years, 3-4 years from now, they group back up and they release some shit and shock the world. But do not fuck with Shady ever again.
They're not getting off that contract.
Nope.
Man, Shady, Eminem, you know, he was just clinging on to that because he was proud of his friend, and he saw a business opportunity that, you know, he liked hip hop and shit, so he thought they could possibly take off in a way that no other group like that ever has. Mm-hmm. And it just won't work. And we keep seeing it happen over and over again. Stop trying to sign these types of groups that you know won't work. Trying to create this fucking anomaly like you gonna be the first one to make it work and shit. No, bro, it's not gonna work. So I'm just mad about that shit. I don't know. I can go on forever about Slaughterhouse because I was so big on them. The first album is probably sitting in my basement right now on my CD rack.
Right.
But anyway, I guess we can wrap this shit. You know, unless y'all got something else to say.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
everything.
So before we actually wrap up, let me just explain what the Gods Are Watching mean real quick. This is a name that I came up with. I was just sitting around writing down words. 2 years ago, I was just writing words. That's one thing that I do to clear my mind or to be creative. I just write a string of words that don't make sense. One day, I was just sitting there and literally the term the Gods Are Watching just came into my head. I wrote it down and I stuck it on my wall and I looked at it every day. Like, what am I going to do with this phrase? I decided I wanted to name my album after it, and retroactively, I went and gave it meaning. The meaning that I gave it, considering the context of my album that I'm still working on to this day, is, you know, I'm talking about social, political, economic type of issues, social issues, and talking about things that matter because that's what my music is about for anybody that doesn't know. A lot of times, not all the time. I talk about things that are kind of like dark and people getting killed by police and white-black issues, depression, death. And the Gods Are Watching meant to me that, you know, no matter what happens or what happens or what's being done under, you know, in the dark, the Gods are always watching. They see everything that we do, you know, good, bad. For, you know, people like George Zimmerman killing kids, walking around signing Skittles packages or signing Confederate flags to the racists in the South because they worship this man as some sort of god because he killed a 17-year-old boy for no reason. You know, the Gods are watching, bro. He got away with it, but he won't get away with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You won't get away with shit. You know, that's what I believe. I believe in God, and I believe in God because of a series of things that I experienced. I went through a period of being atheist, admittedly, and it was only because of and it was intellectually atheist. Like, I didn't really know how to believe in God because it just didn't make sense. But a few things that I've seen over the past few years just make it hard for me not to believe in God, because I don't think this is all this shit that we're sitting here seeing and experiencing every day is just some result of a random assortment of events, right? So that's another philosophical topic for another day. So I applied that, the Gods Are Watching term, to a lot of things, like everything. I want to name my production company after that. I want to name my album after that. I want to name a clothing company after that. I want to name this podcast after that. And for the podcast, I'll just take it to mean, we are gods and we're watching the culture, and you are gods and you are watching us. We're all gods in our own right. You know what I'm saying? We create our reality and we govern our reality every day. So that's all it means. Just the Gods Are Watching, bro. This episode 2. I think this is a good episode. A lot of things we couldn't really get into because we'd be in this bitch for 6 hours. We already over 2 right now.
Yes.
So, I mean, ain't nobody telling us to get out, but just to keep this shit nice bite size.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, for anybody that was wondering, that's what that means, man. I'm Red. You can call me Karan, whatever you want to do.
All right, I'm Brandon.
And my nigga Pablo Frescobar. All of us on Instagram, find us. I'm at the Gods Are Watching, at the Gods Are Watching with an X over the O.
At Dwayne Escobar.
Oh damn, it's gonna be a little
Right, you Pablo and you Escobar, my nigga. So I mean, shit, it goes
Pablo
together.
Frescobar, IG.
Yep, Sir Pablo Frescobar.
Description.
Follow us all. I'll put that shit on the video if I end up uploading this video.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
I'm running with the gods, what can stop me now? Them niggas really hate it when I come around. They hit me with them blessings when I'm coming down. Yeah. Bitch, this is God's plan. I stretch out my hands, receive my blessings, trust the process. Get boys like Rodman. All I need now is my daughter. I got my son first. On the real, I should have been dead. I wish my gun worked. Put that shotty to my dome piece. Be dead and gone, see. Wouldn't even say no goodbyes, but you don't know me. Every time I would feel hopeless and seen that sunset, I look.
The Gods Are Watching.